Before we get into the LeBron Glaze, I got a question because Mars brought something up yesterday that was really interesting. Real interesting.
I did do that. Well, I'm very interesting.
What question do you got?
Well, Mars brought it up, and I thought it was interesting because I got to thinking about it. So, Mars, I don't know if you know this, but there are 3 players that have won Defensive Player of the Year 3 times or more. That's Ben Wallace.
Oh, this is about Rudy Gobert. Okay.
Mutombo and Rudy Gobert. You think Rudy Gobert could possibly be the Defensive Player of the Year again this year? Mars, that would be 5 in 8 years. If he wins the Defensive Player of the Year this year, how are we talking about him?
I mean, who have the most ever? Like, by himself, not tied with 2 other people.
Yep.
I don't know. How do we talk about the person with the most MVPs ever?
That's what I'm thinking, Mars, because I'm thinking the league MVP is, I think the league MVP is a little bit more profound. I won't argue that point. But I think the Defensive Player of the Year is right around that. I think it's the MVP. I think it's the finals MVP. And I think the Defensive Player of the Year is right there. So if we got a guy who's the Defensive Player of the Year who won it 5 times within 8 years. Now, sure, there's guys who win the league MVP who aren't the best player in the league. There are guys who win the Defensive Player of the Year who aren't the best defensive player in the game. However, to win it 5 times, when can I say that Rudy Gobert was the best defensive player in the game?
2021.
And on top of me saying in 2021, I also did this during a time when there were awesome defenders. Just so we clear, Mars, Anthony Davis was in the league when I did this. Joel Embiid was in the league when I did this. Bam was in the league when I did this. Evan Mobley was in the league when I did this. Right? Wemby was in the league Wemby just showed up, but Wemby was in the league when I did this. Like these are the guys who were around when I did this. Because I had this conversation about Scottie Pippen and Kawhi Leonard. And when Kawhi Leonard won back-to-back Defensive Players of the Year, like he's going against Draymond, he's going against Whiteside, he's going up against DeAndre Jordan. Meanwhile, Scottie Pippen is having to beat out Dennis Rodman and Gary Payton and guys like that, Olajuwon, David Robinson. So if I'm looking at what Rudy Gobert did over an 8-year span, do I now have to not talk about him as a defensive player, Mars? No, I'm not talking about that at all. I'm talking about as a big.
Oh my God. You're talking about what as a big?
I'm talking about as an all-time great big, because like we talk about scorers, like I sit up here and I listen to you dudes talk to me about the best scorers, and they put themselves in conversations as being the best players. Well, if I'm the best defensive player of a generation, would I now be in that conversation as one of the best players of that generation, not just the defensive player?
Is Dikembe in those conversations? Have you ever heard anyone be like, Dikembe is one of the best players of the 90s and 2000s?
I've heard people say he's one of the best defensive players. Yes,
that's what I'll say about Rudy Gobert.
We never bring up Dikembe when we talk about the big man era of the 90s. Players. We never bring up Dikembe, and you know what? Shame on me.
And I was about to say, why not?
No, shame on me because I should. But because chill, Dikembe wasn't a top 5 big in the 90s. Arguably top 10 big in the 90s. Arguably.
Well, to be fair, Rudy was definitely a top 5 big for some years.
Let's be clear about that.
Center. Rudy was definitely a top 5. Says a bit about the position, but he was a top 5 center for some years.
So what
I wasn't just a defensive player. I was a double guy. Let's be clear about that. And I know you hate that, Mars.
I'm staying out of that.
Yeah, I know you hate layups. But I mean, we had a stretch where I was averaging 15 a game in the playoffs. And my team was routinely in the playoffs. But
now, two things about that though, Ron, because every time we get into that, what would Jokic do in the 90s conversation, Chill does always bring up Dikembe and Alonzo Mourning.
I mean, but he says that he would fry Alonzo Mourning.
Yeah, he would fry the best defenders, which is the conversation that Dikembe's in.
But
he
Rudy
bust
be better in the 80s
he
and
bust
90s.
Rudy Gay ass too, though. I mean, he bust Rudy Gobert ass too.
I mean, he's great. Like Rudy, I think Rudy is like underrated by like fans and whatnot. Maybe even players. I think players have underrated Rudy Gobert. But I'm not. I mean, it depends on how far down we're going down the list of all-time bigs to include Rudy Gobert. Like, I'm not entertaining Rudy Gobert top 10 bigs of all time conversations. I'm not entertaining Rudy Gobert top 15 bigs of all time conversations because of some defensive player of the
Top
years.
25.
Yeah, I'm not. That's not. Not even really a thought process. But if we're talking about like the best defenders of the 21st century, big or not, yeah, I think Rudy Gobert is in those conversations, top 10, wherever you want to put him. Like he's that impactful defensively.
What puts me in that other conversation? What puts me in the bigs conversation?
I'm gonna look at the big list that you sent me, the top 10 bigs.
Being good at the sport, like
It's gonna be-
I don't know why
it's gonna be-
If I'm the best defensive, if I'm the
There's always going to be
No,
people
but
chill.
Rudy-
that
no,
remember
Rudy
him
is
being
good.
able
So,
to
so
play.
the list,
You know
the
what I
list
mean
Chill
when I
sent
say
me,
being
the,
good at the sport.
the list Chill sent me of his top 10 bigs was Kareem, Wilt, Bill Russell, Hakeem, Shaq, Moses, David Robinson, Jokic, Patrick Ewing, and Dwight Howard. Respectfully,
Rudy's
I'm not
in
putting
that
Rudy
category.
Gobert in those talks.
Mhm.
Rudy's not
he's
top
not
10,
close.
but we've had this conversation
He's
about
not
Rudy
close.
plenty of times, and I've said plenty of times that a guy that you run absolutely zero offensive sets for, that has averaged double figures multiple times in his career, I think says a lot about his impact on the offensive end of the court. Offensive rebounding, catching lobs, being that vertical threat, I think that means something. And this is a guy that you run absolutely nothing for on the offensive end. Can still give you 15 points a game. Rudy Gobert is extremely underrated as this basketball.
He's averaging
player all around.
14 over damn near the last decade.
Yeah, that's what I'm
I'm
saying.
curious.
But chill, there's always-
Rudy Gobert might be the most underrated basketball player we've ever seen.
Okay, be that as it may, Ox, I'm curious, and I would like to know: is Rudy Gobert even top 10 today?
Top 10
And why
what?
is that, Ron? And why is that,
No,
Ron?
don't do that, Ron.
Wait, top 10 what? Top 10 what?
Top 10
players.
what?
Top 10 center.
Top 10 center in the
today.
league right now?
Ron, come on, bro. That's
He not-
that's-
hey,
this-
he
this
not
is
even
what I'm
top
saying.
five today.
This is my
He-
point.
but he's not
Top
top
5,
I'm telling the
top,
truth,
top
he
5,
not
sure,
top
but he
10.
might,
He said
he's
top
probably
10.
top
Ron,
10.
was he ever a top in your estimation? Ron, was he ever a top 5 big in the game?
Probably at some point, yeah. At
the late
some point.
2010s, early 2020s.
Yeah. But
But
at
chill,
the same
there's always
time,
gonna
we
be
gotta
like
all
a-
know the case with that.
What's
There's
the
always going
case
to be
with
like a
that?
cohort of fans who
Position was weaker.
remember him not being able to play in the playoffs. Like, there's always going to be that. Like, how can you be one of the all-time greats when you can't even finish games?
But I mean, but here's the difference with that, though. The
I mean,
difference with
Shea
that is,
just didn't finish the game.
well, not only that, real talk, but that narrative that he hasn't been able to finish games. I mean, that actually went away because he did get better on the perimeter. He did get better as a defender. He was able to switch. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, did he not in the closeout game go almost 25 and 25 against the Lakers? Did he not do that?
We weren't
Okay,
playing
that,
the
I mean,
center,
we got to take that with the
Fair.
grain of
Yeah,
salt,
but back in the
That mean-
day
that's
when
the-
you didn't play a center, that meant Rudy Gobert became unplayable. But this time you didn't play a center, and Rudy Gobert looked like Will Chamberlain.
Exposed.
That's great.
Yo, that's if you ask me, not playing
Yeah,
Rudy
he
Gobert in the
progressed.
playoffs, that's a coaching problem. That's
I
not a
think
Rudy
that's a
Gobert
coaching
issue.
problem,
That's
too.
a coaching error.
Like you can't find minutes for him. You have to be able to find minutes for him. You have to.
Yeah, but when he
But
was
got
winning defensive
minutes.
players
He
of
was
the year, he
exposed in
was
his
not
minutes,
finishing
so he
games
got
too.
benched.
And then he
It's
got
a
better. Real
coaching
talk.
error.
That's the point.
Yeah, he got better years later, but I'm talking about that specific incident against the Clippers.
Right.
Here now, mind you, this is Chill and Ox, people who try to have some respect and decorum towards coaches,
Sure.
right? So let's have some decorum towards coaching. Okay,
100%.
if I have a player, Ox, that's out there getting fried, he's going to get benched.
Mhm.
That's what's going to happen.
Because Terrence Mann hit some corner threes.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, we
that
make
beat
adjustments.
us.
We'll talk. We make adjustments.
Which, by the way, he never
That
did
was
that
make
again.
adjustments.
By the way, he
Yes,
never did that
hell
again.
yeah, hell yeah,
When
hell
it's
yeah.
a
That's
player
what it
I
is.
just
We
don't
make
like is,
adjustments.
oh, we can bench him because he's playing bad.
When do I say that? Stop
You
putting
don't
words in my
say
mouth.
these-
Stop putting words in my mouth.
chill.
I know
we
when
talk
do
about-
when do I say
when we talk about-
benching?
When we talking about benching players who are used to starting, and Chill gets to saying, "Oh, you're gonna lose them. You're gonna lose them mentally." And myself, because I agree with him.
I don't
say,
care.
Nah,
I don't
bump
care.
all that. If he playing
If
bad,
it's
sit
if
his
it's
ass down.
if there's no adjustment to be made, but that's not even the thing. That's more so if a player is getting outplayed by somebody on their team or something like that. That's those circumstances. See, real talk. You do this thing where you try to rewind and put a take against something I'm saying right now, and this is not even the same thing. We gotta talk ball right now. We can't go against takes. We gotta talk ball right now.
I'm talking about if somebody's getting fried on my team.
This isn't
I'm
that
gonna sit him
instance.
down.
Yeah, see, but that's what I'm saying, coach.
So with that being said,
Coach,
real talk,
don't just go straight to, oh, you got to bench that player. That's the same shit I was talking about like 3 years ago with the Jared Vanderbilt situation. Oh, you can't play. You can't play him.
Adjust.
No, I don't. I don't think in one game. I don't think so. I don't think that you bench Rudy Gobert. I think you adjust. You run a different set. You run a different defense. You run something else. I think it's a bad idea to bench Rudy Gobert. Unless it's one of those situations where Julius Randle and Naz Reid are just doing everything that we need and they're outplaying them. If you got Naz Reid and Julius Randle on the court and you don't need a Rudy Gobert out there because these two are outplaying him, then by all means, Rudy, sit your ass down.
I just think that we live in a space where if we got an awesome offensive player, a player who is awesome, and with him being awesome, we hold him in such high regard, especially if it ends up being winning, especially if it's conducive with winning. The problem with Rudy is it has resulted in winning. I mean, they've been to the Western Conference Finals a couple of times, but how differently are we talking about Rudy if the Minnesota Timberwolves end up winning? Like they end up winning the NBA championship.
So they got to do it. And Rudy got to produce doing it.
More differently than Rudy, to be fair. But
Depends what role.
And should we though, Mars? That's the question. Like, should we? Because remember,
he's had ample opportunities though, and he hasn't.
But is every scorer respected?
I don't think Rudy Gobert has ever been on a championship.
Yes, every scorer is respected. Like when we talk about the all-time great bucket getters who only played or primarily were bucket getters, they weren't great defenders, but they were bucket getters. We hold them in high regard. I have people. I mean. Prime example. Okay, Ron. When Tremaine comes, Tremaine actually thinks that Isaiah Thomas is not Isaiah Thomas. I'm sorry, Mars. Tremaine thinks that Allen Iverson's a top 10 player all time. He thinks he's top 10 all time. And Allen Iverson played primarily on the offensive side of the ball. He's self-proclaimed not being a defender, but we hold him in a ridiculously high regard. Now, answer this question for me.
Age thing, chill. Tremaine's in a different generation. These youngsters have no respect or love for Allen Iverson.
Well, AI also did a lot more than score.
I think
but it's also a basketball thing.
mean,
like we've acknowledged this millions of times. Scoring is the most valuable thing you can do.
It is.
Rudy is terrible at the most valuable thing you could do. Now he does provide value in other areas on the glass. He can't play finish a little bit, but on the glass. And playing
in the league in field goal percentage.
That's an aesthetic thing, chill. Because if you do some, I wish Penn was here right now so we could do like a points per second with the ball type situation. And y'all can see Rudy's killing y'all. They're killing y'all favorite scorer in that.
The idea that they don't run anything for him, like those lobs, I think that's part of their offense. I do. I don't think that's. I think that a lot of that stuff is by design. Like we got Rudy at the rim, so we'll throw it up to him. I don't think that they do that just at the end of the shot clock. No, there's a reason why Rudy's diving to the rim and he's asking for the basketball and he's getting layups. He might not be as good as you want him to be around the rim. Like what are we like 51%, 52% on layups? I mean one out of every two layups.
There was a stat I remember this stat last year. At one point in time, Rudy Gobert was 38% on layups.
Yeah.
He's at 62% this year. So
he's a poor offensive player. Like it's okay.
But hey, it's the coach's fault, I guess.
Fellas, I'm about to step in right quick because we do got a guest in the house. My man Michael is here. I seen him at a couple different TikTok events. He pretty big across all socials and everything. Yo, Michael, tell the people who you are, where they can find you at, what you do, and who you repping.
Yeah, I appreciate you. First of all, let me make sure my audio is all good.
You hot
with you guys. All right. Yeah, so like you said, me and Ron met at a couple of these events. I got my start in content back in 2017, repping the Bucks with the Bucks House on Instagram. I've started that page when I was, I want to say, a sophomore in high school. So I've been through thick and thin with this team, been riding out this content thing for that long. Just started to add a little TikTok to it, these past couple of years. Still finding my footing, exactly what I want to do and what I want to, be in this type of space on TikTok. But, just trying to expand, talk more about basketball, talk more about current events that are happening, talk about, the humor and things. I know a lot of my followers like when I post about anything that's going on NBA Twitter, or the people, they love when I talk about Jeff T, so things like that. So try to keep it lighthearted. There's no like super big rhyme or reason to that yet, but yeah, I'm just excited to see where it takes me. I'm excited to be on this show. And yeah, it's nice to meet you guys.
Yes, sir. And we definitely gonna get into the Bucks, because my man 2K Mikey, he's gonna let us know what trade packages he likes, what he believes that the Bucks should get back, and if he actually believes that Giannis should stay with the Bucks. But before we do that, Chill, I'm gonna get back to you, Chill and Mars, because I'm gonna give you guys a list of big men a little bit later, a list of big men, and I want you guys to tell me, actually as well, whether you would take these guys over Rudy Gobert, or whether you would rather have Rudy Gobert over these guys. But you guys see the title of the show. You guys know what happened last night. You guys know who the king is. You guys know who the GOAT is. You guys know where he plays. He resides in LA. He plays for the Lakers. He wears number 23. He also wears a crown. And his name is LeBron James. Last night, LeBron showed us he still got it, y'all. He showed us that he still has the juice. 23 years in, 41 years later, LeBron still got it, y'all. Did we tap in? Did we see that 30 piece that he put up? Did we see those dunks, windmills, alley-oops?
He looked just as good as his Miami self, right?
Facts.
Nobody's saying all that.
But that was a question?
No. It was Martin trying to take thunder away from King James right now. I'm not going to let that happen. You know what I'm saying? I remember there were conversations going on up here, and I told y'all then. I said, just relax. The brother didn't get to play in the preseason. He didn't, you know what I'm saying? He needs a few games to warm up. You know what I'm saying? We need to take a quick trip to Miami. We'll book it back, and then we're going to be fine. I said by late December, January, we're going to be talking about LeBron being right back to being LeBron James. And right on time, Ron, chill. Guess what? He's LeBron James. Last 3 games, he's averaging 29 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists on 71 true shooting. Right? Amazing. I haven't been seeing Mars posting those plus minus stats about him either.
I haven't looked at him. You want me to? I'll look at him right now.
No, don't worry about it.
No, I'll look. You just
don't worry about it.
With me not looking at him. I'll look at him.
He never lost it, Ron, though. He never lost it, man.
Let's see. Let's look at these plus minus stats. They're a negative with him on the court and a positive with him on the court. There you go. Is that plus minus stats you wanted? You want me to screenshot and post on Twitter? They're a negative 1.6 when he's on the court and a plus 3.4.
Post his numbers.
It wasn't a negative.
You're the one who asked about the plus minus.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Mars post them. Unfortunately, you should be grateful I haven't. They still negative.
Those numbers.
What you want me to do?
That kind of stuff is so nasty, man.
Then why did you ask for him?
It's nasty.
Those numbers are not the full story.
I haven't seen Mars post these numbers. I give you the numbers. They don't tell the full story. So then why do you care if I'm posting them or not?
Because you're not posting them because you were expecting LeBron to be trash and he not.
No, because I don't just actively after every game look at the plus minus.
When he was playing trash, you were.
No, I looked at his in-game plus minus. Like, oh look, he's a negative
trash. You were.
And guess what? He playing well when they still negative. So what do you want me to do?
Then. All of y'all up here ought to be ashamed of yourself ever doubting LeBron James. That man is going to be a top 10 player until he retires. Just accept it.
Make sure you keep me out of that, man.
Wait, was you saying?
Because I've been and that never came from me. I was up here defending LeBron James and the Lakers and Luka Doncic. When everybody turned their back on the Lakers, LeBron James or Luka Doncic, I was up here defending them. So please make sure you keep me out of that.
Ron and Luka together is a -3. Luka without Bron is a plus.
Little sample size.
The on-off numbers are nasty because LeBron's out there with like Nick Smith Jr., Dalton Connect, Jackson Hayes, Marcus Smart. The on-off numbers are so nasty with LeBron. But I think
great point,
I think to your point, real talk, like this was a guy that finished 6th in MVP voting last year, 2nd team all defense, no preseason, no training camp, did his MCL, jumped right back into the regular season, had a few days with the South Bay Lakers, and people were writing him off. Like, people were writing this guy off after like 10 games, man. I think this is probably the only player that we're ever going to see that never gets like truly washed. Like Bron's got such a high IQ, the way he can play off the ball now with Luka and all these different things, where I actually don't think he'll ever get washed. Obviously, we see the decline athletically. We see, the defensive stuff go as guys get older, but he's still going to be able to put up 25 and 5 until he retires, man. Like, this guy's crazy, bro.
That's why he was supposed to be first team All NBA last season.
Facts.
No, it's okay. He got robbed for that.
Facts.
And that right there, to your point, Damian, that's what I was talking about with LeBron earlier in the season when people were talking, because remember Austin Reeves was playing incredible and they were saying that LeBron was going to get in the way, and I didn't understand that, because LeBron James is never going to get in the way on the basketball court, because like you said, Damian, his IQ, he knows how to play basketball, he knows where to be. You know what I mean? It made no sense for that narrative to be driven, but.
Well, to be fair, we still haven't seen.
One and Reeves of barely.
Yeah, we haven't seen.
Especially when Luke is out.
Yeah, we haven't seen.
Right.
All
Well,
three of
because
them.
I don't need to see it. You're not gonna. There's no team you put LeBron James on and he makes it worse.
They played 100 minutes together this season. They're a -11.
I don't. So my point is that there's no team that LeBron James makes worse. If they get worse, it's not because of Bron.
That's fair. That's fine.
You know what I'm saying? That's all.
Fellas, I do want to read this super chat from JRS or Junior's Prince. Said LeBron James, the last 12 games, is averaging 25.6, 5.9 rebounds, 6.3 assists on 64.5 true shooting at 41. My GOAT doing GOAT things. Yo, 2K Mikey, is LeBron the GOAT?
In my opinion, hey, listen, honestly, I'm not going to lie. I was a LeBron hater back in my day. So maybe 10 years ago, I might have argued against it. But at this point, it's hard to argue anybody else being the GOAT, in my opinion. I think some people see what he's doing and all the records that he's been breaking and say, well, those are longevity records and whatnot. And sure, that's fair. But in my opinion, that's a part of the GOAT debate, is how long you can be successful. I know you guys are talking about whether he's top 10 and is he gonna be top 10 the rest of his career. I think the fact that he's been able to sustain this for as long as he has, to me, I don't see how there's an argument otherwise. Like, I can obviously hear, MJ's argument and whatnot, but I think it's hard to argue against him being the GOAT, in my opinion.
So last night, real talk, because Mars went on this soliloquy about KD. So I'm going to do that about James. So last night, I had to call my uncle. I ain't really need that much last night. I only needed a couple dollars. Like, I ain't need him to take care of the whole mortgage. I just needed a couple of dollars last night. And he definitely slid me that. But I don't think anybody is talking about this. This kind of came and went. I just found out that James is second all time on the assist list. Second all time.
He just passed Chris Paul.
This came and went. So here's the thing. And Mars went on Mars went on a beautiful soliloquy yesterday about something like that. Mars went on a beautiful soliloquy about KD. So I'm going to do the same thing with James. I am number one all time on the scoring list. You cannot no longer say that I am not a bucket getter, because we don't do that with any other bucket getters. None of them. Because we didn't do that with Olajuwon as a shot blocker. We never said that he wasn't a shot blocker. We never said that. We didn't do that with distributors when they were at the top of the list with John Stockton and Magic. We never said that they weren't passes. So now I am at the top of the list as a bucket getter, numero uno. So you can never say that I'm not a bucket getter. Now let's move forward to being a distributor. I am number two. That means that in the history of the league, there's only one dude, who did this better, who did this more than I did. So you can't say that I'm not a distributor. Why? Because once again, we didn't say that about those other guys who did the same thing. I am not going to see this again in my lifetime. For the guy to be as good as he's been for as long as he's been, and to be able to continuously do this at this level and see guys who are basically his children's age. This kid that plays in Utah, Isaiah Collier, he used to come over to my house with my son because he's a friend of my son. Now I'm playing against him in the NBA and I'm kicking all of their asses. I'm still doing that today at 41 years old Nobody has done this before me, and I don't think in my lifetime anybody's going to do this. I'm not going to see this again. And by the way, Ron, I'm right outside the top 5 in steals. So I'm not just elite on the offensive side of the ball. I'm elite on the defensive side of the ball also. And I've been that for a long, long time. Not just good, great. And I've been that for a long time. And there is nobody, and I'm going to say this one more time for the people in the cheap seats, there is nobody who can hold a candle to me. Nobody. I'm the best to ever do it. Period.
Facts. Nobody holding a candle. I
don't know
why
nobody can hold a candle to me.
Shaking your head and rolling your eyes, Ox. Why you shaking your head?
I was with Chill to the defensive shit, but
he was an elite defensive player.
All right, cool. I don't know.
Last night I'm watching him. Last night I'm watching him, and very much what I said about Kawhi Leonard, where the game, I'm not the athlete that I used to be, but the game is so slow now in front of me that I could just get whatever I want because I'm just so much smarter than everybody. James still has that athleticism, but I don't have to play as fast as I used to. I don't have to go as quickly as I used to because I'm still better than 95% of all of you guys. I can still outsmart a lot of you guys, in addition to having the athleticism, which I will break out every once in a while. I'm not going to put my head above the rim every night. I'm not going to do windmill dunks every night, but every once in a while, I'm going to do it to show you that I still got it. And at any given time, I can do this. I can still close games. I can still have us go on runs. The idea of the plus minus, which don't get me wrong, I am a fan of plus minus and I'm a fan of numbers. No question about that. But they winning games. So the plus minus thing, like when he's on the floor, the plus minus thing when he's off the floor, I mean, I do think that holds weight, but they are winning games. This isn't a team that's at the bottom of the Western Conference. This isn't a team that's just out of the playoff picture. No, they are winning games. Yes, they do have their flaws, but I'm trying to imagine where this team would be without what James is doing right now.
Chill, that plus minus shit is garbage. It's disgusting. It's stupid. It's despicable. When you next time you go watch the Heat play, I want you to do something. I want you to look up at the little scoreboard thing they got up there, right? And when it has all the five guys that are in the game, and they go points, rebounds, steals, fouls, plus minus all the way over there. The hustle board, right? I want you to look at that, right? And then I want you to watch the next time when, let's say, Davion Mitchell is over here in the corner and Khalil Ware is over here in the corner, and then Tyler Hero and Bam run a pick and roll. And Tyler comes off of that elbow and shoots it and knocks it down. And watch Davion Mitchell's plus minus go up as he's standing there watching, doing absolutely
Ain't got nothing
shit.
to do with that. He's
doing nothing.
With that.
You know what I'm saying? And then when it comes back down again in Norman Powell, ISO, bang, bang, hits a 3, and Khalil Ware is just standing there looking. And as soon as the ball goes through the net, you see Khalil Ware's plus minus go up, and he's not doing shit. I just you know what I'm saying? Like that plus and minus is garbage.
I think to your point, Chill, in sports, longevity is your ability to do something for a long time, right? But when we're talking about LeBron, this isn't Vince Carter. Like, this isn't Robert Parrish, where the guy's hanging on, right? This is a guy who has 21 All-NBA selections, man. This is a guy who has nearly as many first-team All-NBA selections than Michael Jordan played seasons in the league. Like, that's the type of greatness we're talking about. Your ability to, in professional sports, your ability to do something at the highest level is the hardest thing anyone can ever do. The ability to get up and do it again is the hardest thing you can do, man. If you ask professional athletes, Kyle Korver said he was on the runs with LeBron in 2018. He saw him at his peak, right, in the playoffs. He said the most impressive thing about LeBron was his ability to get up and do it the next day, because he saw so many great players unable to do that, man. And for LeBron to be doing this at 41 and showing no signs of slowing down is unprecedented, man. And we're not gonna see it again. I'm glad you gave him his flowers, bro, because the dude's crazy, man.
Like I said, I'm not saying that we're not gonna see it again, Ron. I just don't think I'm gonna be allowed to see it again. I don't think I'm gonna be allowed to see it happen again. A guy who's number 1 all time in buckets, number 2 all time in assists. Number 1 all time in buckets, number 2 in assists. I don't think I'm gonna see that again in my lifetime. I don't. It's incredible.
Not just regular season buckets, Chill. He's number 1 in playoff buckets as well. Right? I believe he leads all playoff history in scoring. He's been to what? He's been in what? 10 finals?
Yep.
Right?
Is it a significant margin?
Went to 8 straight
in playoff points. It's not even close.
went to
Very
8th
true.
straight in the
And
conference,
steals, he's
went back to
number
back
one
to
as well.
Miami.
He has over
Yep.
2,000 more points than MJ in the playoffs.
Come on, bro.
I want to
He's
make
not back to MJ. These are not talks anymore.
I just don't think that because we've had such bad discourse when it comes to James that we respect what exactly he's done over the course of his career. It's the only in the NBA, professional basketball, it's the only sport where we talk down on a guy for being awesome for a long time. We don't do that in football. We don't do that in baseball. We don't do that in hockey. We don't do it in track. We don't do it anywhere else except in pro basketball, where you're awesome for a long time and it's a bad thing. Nowhere else. And the fact that this guy has been as awesome as he's been for as long as he's been, I'm talking about being an all-pro for 20 plus years. These how many guys in the history of the NBA can say that they did that? Nobody can have. That means that I am at minimum a top 15 player for 20 plus years. I've done that. It's incredible. Now, don't get me wrong, Miles. I can appreciate the mishaps, the losing in the playoffs, the crumbles in the finals. Yes, I can definitely understand that. But what I can also understand is him being able to be able to come out of that, like to use that as fuel. He could have folded when that happened in 2011. He could have folded when that happened. Like, it's hard to get to the NBA championship. And then to keep going to the NBA championship and to keep coming back and to keep winning and to keep being that guy that everybody is after every year. We're talking about a Laker team, real talk, that's reliant on a 41-year-old to win, not just in the regular season, but to win in the playoffs. We're reliant on a guy who should have been out of the league. Anybody else should have been out of the league years ago. He's a major part of what you guys are doing today. That's never happened in my life.
But chill,
and that includes Jabbar. That includes Jabbar.
Chill, here's the thing. That age only affects mere mortals, right? This guy isn't one of us. This guy is from somewhere else. I keep trying, like, I was here a few years ago, and maybe, you know what? To be fair, I may have to come to this same conclusion about Steph Curry. Because I keep betting on Steph to eventually be worse. And then it's like, oh, I'm still averaging 28 on 65 true shooting. I'm like, I guess, bro. But LeBron is at 41 and chill. I don't care. I think he can do this. What he's doing right now, I think LeBron could do this without major injury, of course. Knock on wood. But he could be doing this. He could do this another 3-4 years if he chose to. LeBron James has gotten to a point where mentally he's figured out the game. Physically, I keep saying this about LeBron too. Yes, he has seen a steep decline in athleticism, Damian, but he's falling from such heights as an athlete that even LeBron at like 50% of LeBron James athleticism is still what, a 80th percentile, 85 percentile athlete in the NBA. Bro, he's the vertical threat. He's one of the vertical threats still on the team. Luka is running pick and roll. He's cutting baseline to catch lobs at 41.
And putting his head in the rim.
Come on, bro. We need to stop playing with LeBron James.
And he knows, he also knows how to attack, how not to go mano-a-mano, but when to go mano-a-mano with guys. He knows that brute force isn't just going to be my game all the time, but I can also play with brute force when it's necessary. Like, he ended up getting Zion on the box last night now and backing Zion down and getting a bucket. But I know I can't do this with him all night, but I'm going to pick the times when I'm able to do this with him, which I think is, I just think that that's phenomenal as a player. But when I also can get the ball in the wing, and I got a guy like Trey Murphy who's backed off me, and the reason why he backed off me because he's afraid I'm going to blow his doors off and get to the rim and I'm going to punch it on him. So I'm going to crack this three because I can still do that, by the way. But I can also still get to the rim and finish with the best of them. I can still do that at this age. What this guy has done and what this guy is continuing to do, because we keep saying this, Ox, year after year. Yo, this year is the year. I think this is the year he falls off. I think this is the year he falls off. I've been doing this for 5 years now. I mean, how many more years can I do this? I mean, it's been 5 years now. I mean, the only time I can honestly say that he's gonna fall off is when he decides, I'm out. I don't play no more. That's it. I can't say, okay, this is the year that it's over. This is the year that it's over. Because I've been saying that for 5 years now.
Because you know what? He actually said himself too, because I think it was on an episode of the Barbershop or whatever podcast we doing with Rich Paul and them. He was like, when I'm not good anymore, I'm going to retire. but as long as I'm still nice, I'm going to keep playing. So you're correct, Chill. If he's still playing, he still feels like, you know what I'm saying? I got something to give. I got something to take. And who are we to doubt him? Because every year it's 25, 7-7. Every single year.
But
25, 6.
The other thing as well. Yeah, then the other thing as well is that, Chill, you make a great point where there's going to be a generation where he eventually retires that never got a chance to see him play, right? But they're going to miss out on some of the nuances that we got to see night in and night out. The tempo, controlling the games, picking his spots, conserving the energy, being able to finish games, being able to play off guys. Like, look, this is like the 5th iteration of LeBron. Like LeBron playing off the ball is new. Like when Luka came, this is a brand new iteration of LeBron. Like, he's never played off the ball. He has the lowest usage in his career. It's like 26% or something crazy. Like, this is another iteration. He's sort of redefining his game, reinventing himself at 40 years old, man. Like, these are the type of things that when kids come up now and think about LeBron and understand the game and start to learn about the history, they'll still miss out on some of these little nuances that we got the chance to see every single night, man.
Ron, I said to you a couple of days ago, today is Wednesday, I think it is. I think I said to you a couple of days ago, because I know how you felt about Dwayne Wade in 09. And I thought Dwayne Wade was fantastic in 09. I just want you to go do some homework on James. That's all I'm asking you, Ron. Go do some homework and find out how good James was in 09. Because I'm not just saying this as a James guy. I don't think it was close, that league MVP. I don't think it was close. I don't think Dwayne Wade was close to what James did. I can appreciate the fact that he led the league in scoring, but I don't think otherwise it was close what Dwayne Wade and James were.
Chill, in 09, it's not Dwayne Wade for me. It's not Dwayne Wade. It's Kobe Bryant, but I don't want to get into that.
You said LeBron was third, so
yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, but it's more about Kobe and less about Dwayne Wade. But shout out to D Wade.
Dwayne Wade was a better defender than LeBron James.
That's the same. That's the same LeBron James who finished second in Defensive Player of the Year that year.
For chase down blocks. Yeah.
Chase down blocks and navigating screens and being an on-ball defender that year, being a great help side defender that year. I mean, yeah, I really don't think that you guys know like how good he was that season. And I just want you guys to go do some homework, because like I've said to you in the past, I do recognize greatness, and I recognize when other guys are great. Like, I recognize how awesome Kawhi Leonard was in 2017. And if we don't have an ankle injury, we got a situation in Golden State. Y'all dudes got trouble.
And yet you still open your mouth and say that LeBron James is a better defender than Kawhi Leonard.
Yes, I do. I 100% say that. Yes, I think he's a better defender.
And that's why I think maybe you should go back and do your homework.
No, I do. I did go do my homework on
ridiculous.
I did go do my homework on Kawhi Leonard, and I did go do my homework on LeBron James. No doubt about that. But when I think about what LeBron James was in that 08-09 season, I mean, real talk, he led the Cavs in points, rebounds, assists, blocks, and overall steals, because Ben Wallace led them in steals that season, right? Mm-hmm. Ben Wallace led them in steals per game, but James led them in overall steals. He had the most fourth quarter points that season. Mm-hmm. He had the highest PER that season. Mm-hmm. He played the least amount of minutes that season. He had the lowest turnovers that season. Mm-hmm. They were 8-1 when he scored over 40. They were 25 games over 500 when he scored over 30. Mm-hmm. He was nothing short of awesome that year. Nothing.
Yeah, LeBron. To put this also in perspective, you know, the one thing I do love about LeBron James, and this is why he's such a polarizing player. He's so great that it makes people uncomfortable. Right? It's unsettling how good LeBron James is and how long he's been able to sustain this level of play. And this is why he gets the amount of hate that he gets, because you have people who are Kobe fans, as of myself. The brother up there with the Bucks shirt on said at one point he hated LeBron James, right? It's because he's too good. That's really what it is. He's too good. And so when you get to like talking or discussing a player who's better than your favorite player, it gets uncomfortable. I had to come to grips with that when it came to Kobe. I'm like, damn, I love Kobe. I love Kobe in 09, but I would be a fool, in my opinion, to sit here and be like, oh yeah, Kobe was better than LeBron James in 2009. No, he wasn't. We watched him play.
Y'all need to go do
I'm
y'all
not saying
homework.
Kobe wasn't great.
Y'all need to go do y'all
Kobe wasn't great. But LeBron in 09 was
I think he was better than Kobe.
A freak athlete. And I'll end with this too. This is how long LeBron has been dominating. My brothers this year are about to graduate high school. They were born in 08. He has been
around
an elite player their entire life. All they know is LeBron being good. And they were born in 08. They're about to graduate. Go off to college. I
got my kids watching LeBron now. It's crazy.
LeBron's been all NBA my whole existence.
Yes.
Mars, one more time. I don't think people understand it. I don't think
my whole existence on this planet, LeBron's been on the All NBA.
Like I can't say that about Jabbar. Jabbar wasn't All NBA the whole time that I was around. He wasn't. Even on the other end, he was not that. That was not going on, Ron. No. And Ron, I forgot to mention in 09, I think if I'm not mistaken, James led the league in triple doubles. He led the league in points on the road too, by the way. In addition to leading the league in triple doubles, he led the league in points on the road. And he led the league, if I'm not mistaken, he led the league in points, rebounds, assists, average. Nobody else was doing that. And to your talk, to your point,
PRA,
to your point, real talk, real talk
for some people.
To your point, real talk. You talking about Kobe? I was around when Jordan had hair, and they used to call him Air Jordan. You know how hard it was for me to come off that? I was like, ain't no way he better than him. But then I had to start coming around like, wait a minute, he might be better than him. No, he's not better than him. But the more I started watching him, wait a minute, he might be better than him. Hell no, he's not better. I was fighting him for a long time. And then I had to come around to it. He is better than that dude. He is.
The only thing, Chill, is I don't know. I think y'all are overdoing the hate for longevity thing. I don't think, first of all, I think that's crazy if anybody thinks that, you know what I'm saying, being great for a long time is a problem. I don't understand that. I don't understand that way of thinking. So I don't believe it's real. Like, you can't, there's nobody out here, you know what I'm saying? There's nobody out here that could possibly say, oh, well, he's 41 and still good, so that's a bad thing. Like, there's nothing bad about being great at your profession for 23 years. You know what I'm saying? There's no way that you can justify hating on longevity. Now, when it comes to guys like Kevin Garnett, who I should have never seen put that Wolves jersey back on. You know what I'm saying? There's guys like that last season of Dirk or last 2 seasons of Dirk where it's like, damn, Dirk, maybe you should have hung it up. You know what I mean? Those guys. Hakeem Olajuwon stayed around too long. Patrick Ewing probably should have left as soon as he missed that layup with his weak ass. But but you know, there's a lot of players, you know what I'm saying, where it's like, okay, you probably should have hung it up 2 or 3 seasons before you did. And I think sometimes that might put a stain on their resume for certain people that maybe didn't get to see them in their prime. You know, but for LeBron James, we're not getting that. He like we were talking about a minute ago. I thought he was, and I was up here fighting y'all about it last year because I thought he was first team All NBA last year.
I was with you on that. I was with you.
Right.
I did not think that.
Right. There's no way that a guy who we're even having an argument about and who was second team All NBA, right? He did get second team.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're getting second team All NBA in year 22. We can't knock you for still being around. I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah, but the longevity
people definitely do. I just say people definitely do.
It's called the longevity.
People don't hate
that's what it's called.
Yeah. People don't hate the longevity. People hate LeBron. So they say when he breaks some of these sort of all-time records, it's because of longevity. But really, it's because of sustained greatness. So when you break the all-time scoring record, it's because he averaged 25 points a game for like 21 years in a row. Like it's not just longevity. It's because you're good for so long.
Nothing.
So you're saying like the total numbers, Damien. People are hating on the total numbers.
Yeah, people hate like if people like, for example, when he passed Chris Paul in assists, right? Oh, LeBron passed him because he's been around forever. But you don't get to that level without being still great at something for a long period of time. I think that's the difference. But what's crazy is like Kobe retired at like 37, but his body was broken. Like to your point, Ox, like Dirk was done, like KG was done. LeBron's 41, man. In year 23, no one's played 23 seasons, man. And real talk, he could play another 3-4. Easy.
Yeah.
Well, you know why, but I guess.
Yeah, whatever.
Why, Mars? You think you think that are we gonna in 5 years find out that he was on the juice? Is that what you're trying to tell me, Mars?
Would that change your opinion of him?
Yes, it would. 100%. If I found out that James was on the juice, I'm out.
Oh,
yes, I'm out.
Yo, before we transition, 2K Mikey.
Yeah.
Who has the better NBA build? Prime Giannis or whatever you think Giannis was the most freakishly athletic, or LeBron James?
Ooh, that's tough. I think so. When we were, first of all, you guys were talking about him being great for so long. Like, I was a kid when LeBron was like at his peak athleticism in Cleveland, where he is running past everybody, in 3 seconds, and he's at the rim already, and he's dunking everything, right? So I was a kid when I was watching that, so I didn't get a chance to fully in depth see that. So I do think, I just going back and watching the highlights and seeing what he was capable of doing. I think there was a clip circulating on Twitter of they were on a fast break and someone passed it back to him, and from the free throw line, it wasn't even supposed to be an alley-oop dunk, right? And he took off from dang near the free throw line, and it made it seem like an alley-oop. Like, those are the type of things that he could do 15 years ago or whatnot, right? Giannis, I will say, definitely was athletic in his peak, and I think he's, if you watch him in 2019, 2020, he was way, I don't want to say he's taken a step down athletically, but he's definitely put on a little bit more weight, and I don't think he can't get up there, but it's not young Giannis. But even then, I don't think young Giannis could compare to what young LeBron was doing.
My brother Giannis, no Giannis has ever reached the heights of LeBron James athleticism. No. Ever, never. And I don't
know how many human beings, period, have reached.
Exactly. It's ridiculous. I'm thinking about that. What Mars just said, what Real Talk just said. My brother was younger than his daughter when LeBron James came into the NBA.
Let me tell you this.
I was damn near my son's age when LeBron James came to the NBA.
In 23 years.
People have been born, got married, graduated, had children. Their children have started kindergarten. All the while, LeBron's been all NBA the whole time.
My son's about to be 12 this year. I was 12 when LeBron got drafted.
You see what I'm like? This is crazy. So for the people in the chat that's like, oh my God, y'all are glazing, y'all not understanding. This is every time that man goes out there and puts on yet another stellar performance, it is history in real time. Like Chill always says, I don't think y'all are grasping that concept. We're not going to see this again. We're not going to see a player come into the league by year 3, be arguably a top 3 player in the world already, top 5. I'll go to top 5 and sustain that for 20 years. 20. We're not going to see that.
But real talk. Don't buy that from the chat. This is glaze-worthy. Y'all know my slogan. Yes. If it's glazable, glaze that.
If you can't glaze the best player,
glazeable.
If it's glazable, glaze that shit.
Right, you're right.
Hey, this is 23. LeBron has deserved to be glazed for every single season that he played in the NBA, especially this season. What we just seen last night, a 41-year-old man. Come on, y'all. I was bugging when I looked on my timeline and seen LeBron James windmilling from the dotted line. It was like he jumped from the dotted line. The next time each and every one of you guys go to the gym, jump from the dotted line and try to touch the net. Jump from the dotted line and try to touch the net.
31.
I'm saying, he windmilled from the dotted line. He caught an alley-oop with his elbow still damn near at the rim. First play of the game, Luka comes off a pick and roll, drops it on the short roll to DeAndre Ayton. DeAndre Ayton makes a swing to a cutting LeBron behind Zion Williamson, touches the back of his neck and dunks. First play of the game. He had 5 dunks last night. If that's not glazable, you don't like basketball. You really just don't like basketball. If we can't glaze LeBron in peace today, tomorrow, all right, I get it. Today, y'all got to come off that. This is glazable.
There was a run he went on when I was like 7 or 8 years old, when the Bucks were in these colors. Think about how long ago the Bucks were in these colors, where he scored something like 20 straight points, right? And it's one of those.
I remember that.
You find
game,
it.
yeah.
You find it in every compilation of players catching fire, whatever. Last night, obviously, it wasn't to that level, but to see him in the fourth quarter, the Lakers are down, whatever, 5-6 points. They're playing the Pelicans, who are a bad team. You're at a position where it's like, okay, someone's got to take over. And we talked earlier about relying on a 41-year-old. It's like, all right, he knows when to pick his spots. He knows when to take over. I'm going to hit a 3 in your face. Okay, cool. Now I'm going to drive, take you to the paint, and shoot a layup. All right. Now, next play, I got you both ways. I can shoot one in your face. I can take you to the rim. Now you got your defender on your feet, shoot another 3, and that's eight points right there in a matter of whatever it was, a minute, 2 minutes. Was it the level of that, 20-point outburst? No. But the fact that he can still take over like that, however many, that was probably like 08, I want to say. Like, we're in 2026. And the fact that he can still do that.
He did
like,
it last game as well.
Yeah. And we saw it against Philly with him taking over late in that game too. Like, I mean, come on.
All right, fellas, we are going to switch pages and talk about why you guys should love the NFL this week specifically. We have an NFL player survivor contest that has $6,750 on the line. And anybody could step into this prize pool and grab this money. All you got to do is download the Splash Sports app, which you can do that by scanning this QR code, or you could do it by clicking the link in the bio. You guys like to click that link in the bio, right? I know a lot of you guys in the chat. Well, don't stop now. Click the link and join this amazing contest on Splash Sports. And, well, it's real simple. Here's how it works. You pick the team that you believe is going to win, and that's that. If your team wins, you advance. If your team loses, you head to the sideline and watch the other contestants advance. It's as simple as that, y'all. Pick a team each and every week of the playoffs, NFL playoffs, and the person who goes the farthest wins the prize pool or the people. So let's say it's 10 people at the end of the Super Bowl that picked correctly each and every week. Well, those 10 people would split this $6,750. I know I'm going to get a cut of it. You might as well take your shot at it. Oh, and while you're over there, you might as well not leave empty-handed because, well, this contest starts January 10th, and you have until January 10th to join. That is the entry deadline. But that's 3 days from now. While you at it, you might as well get over to Splash Sports and grab you a little bit of money, too. We're actually about to do it right here, right now. Who do we want on our Splash Sports quick picks? Big Ox, set it off.
No doubt, Ron. I just got a quick question for you. Now, real talk. Don't take this the wrong way, because I'm pulling for the Texans, and you got my vote the other day. I believe that they're gonna win. But Ron, I'll be lying if I said I wasn't a little nervous. Do we want to put another one in just for insurance?
Oh yeah. Let's do that. Actually, let's do that.
All right.
Yeah, hey, a wise man once told me, "You better take that insurance."
Facts.
Alex, you want to tell the people how you was renting cars and not putting insurance on it, and what happened that one day?
Why you gonna just lie?
Damn, just putting your business.
Why you putting your business in the street?
Yeah,
This
that's
is what I'm
crazy.
talking about when I say I want to box this dude when I see him. This is what I'm talking about.
This is what he do. Chill.
I'm just trying to give the kids in the chat a lesson about why you should always get insurance.
Man,
why you should always be insured.
Chill. Damien, don't listen to this. Damien, don't trust me. Don't listen to this.
Nah, I trust your integrity, brother. Don't worry. All good.
Thank you, Damien. I appreciate that.
All right, so we back at it, y'all. Let's just put in one more just for insurance. Mind you, I do believe the Texans are gonna win. So, all right. But just in case.
I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills. That is my team. Even though, no, I can't, because I think that the Jags might win that game. It's tough. It's the NFL playoffs, y'all. It is tough.
Michael, you going with the Packers?
You know, if I would be tempted to say no if they beat the Bears in Chicago, I would be tempted to say no. But I like the fact that, you know what, we're split even. I like our playoff experience against a Chicago team who, sure, they're young and up and coming, but I like our experience here.
I got my money on the Patriots. We got to collectively choose a team. I got one for the Patriots. Ox, who you want to rock with?
I do like that Patriots pool, but that's too easy. We need to save them for the next round.
The next round, it might not be that easy. Hey, I might not have the Patriots next round.
I'm going with the 49ers, man.
Here y'all go, man. Actually, come on, let's do it. I would love to sell our shot at $6,750. Let's do it.
Man, this California over everybody.
Let's just flush it down the drain. Come on. Let's just flush it right down the shitter. You want to do that too, Chill?
No.
You want to just give away the money?
No, I don't want to give away the bread. I'm not. That's what charities do. They give away bread. I do not work in the charity business. No, sir.
So you don't want to take the Niners then?
No, I do not. I think the Texans are going to steamroll Pittsburgh.
We already got
we took the Texans in the other one though.
Okay,
so this is our second contest. Oh, the Rams. What are we doing?
Yeah, I mean that's a sure shot. That's the one on here. That's a sure shot.
That's kind of what we want. Like, we'll worry about the next round when we get to the next round because the Rams aren't going to be favored the next round.
You know what, Ron?
Newsflash.
The Rams got y'all next.
Newsflash.
Let's take the Rams, Ron. Let's do that.
Wait, Ron. That's how it lines up. What seed are the Rams? Wouldn't y'all have like the Packers?
Nah. It's the lowest seed. We play the lowest seed, but you don't know who's gonna win. So if let's say the Rams win, the Eagles win, and the Bears win, then we will play the Rams.
Oh, I didn't know the Bears were higher than the Rams. Okay,
I'm down for that. Number 2 seed.
Oh, really? Okay, I thought the Rams were.
All right, let's take the easy money, dog. I say the Rams and the Bills.
The Bills. I'll go with the Bills. Can't get me to go against Josh Allen. Who else? What you got, Real Talk? What you got, Chill? Mike, Damian, Mars.
Well,
Damian, you
I'm gonna roll with I'm actually rolling with
this season
Josh Allen. Yeah, I'm rolling with Josh Allen. Yeah, I'm gonna roll with Josh Allen. And no read. If you look at the landscape of the playoffs this season in particular, no Patty Mahomes, no Joe Burrow, no Lamar Jackson. There's basically a lane for Josh Allen to get to the bowl game. You ain't got to see none of them dudes. None of them.
Chill. If Josh Allen can't do it this year,
I'm good, y'all.
Him and Lamar Jackson are going to get put in those James Harden categories for me. They are collectively, I'm going to figure out who's going to be who. One of them is going to be James Harden, and the other one's going to be Chris Paul. If you can't do it this year.
James Harden.
What? Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's been some years. It's been a long time you get into the playoffs and fumbling, for lack of better terms. But come on, Big Ox.
So
let's go ahead and take the Buffalo Bills.
Take the Bills. Okay.
I want to take the Rams, but come on. If y'all want to take the Bills,
we can take the Rams for the insurance team, the backup team. I would. Okay, I'm not hearing no pushback. All right, let's do that. All right, well, that's that, yeah.
We got 2 entries, y'all. That is how you join the Splash Sports NFL Player Survivors. Real simple. So when the Buffalo Bills do advance, we will still be in the contest with that pick. And when the Houston Texans don't advance, sorry, Real Talk and Jordan, when they don't advance, we won't be in there for the other pick, but we'll still have the pick that advanced. So we'll be good. However, if the Texans do win, we still have 2 shots at 6,750. Y'all, it has been fun. It has been real. And we will see each and every one of you guys in the winner's circle. But as of right now, ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, we got super chats. So let's go ahead and make it happen. I appreciate everybody that's in here. If you haven't liked the video yet, get out, go wash your hands, drink a glass of water, come back and do the right thing. Do what you're supposed to do. Like the video, subscribe, become a member, follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, all of that good stuff. Yo, Mikey, where can the people find you at?
So on Instagram, they can find me at the Bucks House, no underscore. And then on TikTok, just 2K Mikey.
2K Mikey.
Y'all lock in.
Mikey,
all right, let's get into it.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Ron. I was just going to ask if Giannis getting traded. Do you want Giannis traded?
No, absolutely not.
Hold up, Mikey. Before we get into that,
I was going to say I could talk about this for 3 hours.
No, we're about to. We are. I'm gonna read some of these super chats, and we're about to get into this Giannis talk. But the first super chat that I got is from Dub Ball Out Highlights. Dub Ball Out said, "If it came out that Bron took PEDs for years, would we care? ? It's like if we found out K-Dot don't write his lyrics. Would we care?
Yes.
I love her, Bron, or I think he meant to say I'm a lover of Bron, but it's insane for him to be this good for so long."
Yes, I would care 100%. Just like if I found out that
it happened with Lance Armstrong.
Yes, just like if I found out that K-Dot was somebody, if he had ghostwriters. That's the essence of hip hop. Write your own rhymes. If you don't write your own rhymes, you can't say that you're the best. Somebody else the best. Those ain't your words. Now I can appreciate Mars's logic that if you're on PEDs, this is basically the height of human, what's the word I'm looking for? Capability. That's the word I'm looking for. The height of human capability. Only except it's not, because I'm being enhanced. So it's not really the height of human capability.
Well, you're being enhanced to your maximum potential. I don't really have a problem with it. But
I'm being enhanced to my maximum potential. Not the way it's supposed to be. I'm being enhanced to my maximum potential unorganically. Like I'm basically what I am, because I'm actually on record saying this to you, Mars, and I said this to you, Ox. I'm not a fan of what's his name? Captain America. Who is Captain America? He's just a dude on steroids. That's all he is. At the end of the day.
Well, his is beyond human.
He's just a dude on steroids. That's it.
Capability. Yeah.
Right.
Well, his is beyond human capability, but like I don't think they should be. I don't think they should be banned, but they are. So obviously you shouldn't do them because they're banned. But I don't think they should.
I'm not a fan of Captain America because he should have let Tony off Bucky, but wanted to protect Bucky. Shit pissed me off. But whatever though. I know that shit, man.
LC sent through a super chat and said, "Mr. Chill, piggybacking off yesterday's conversations, Cade is the best point guard in the East, not the league. He needs to be a top point guard in the East for at least 3 years before I can say he's the top in the league, but he's close."
All right, we getting there.
But the best point guard in the East has to be the best point guard in the East for 3 years to be better than the best point guard in the West.
You heard him.
Sounds like Western Conference bias. I don't know.
You heard him.
I did. I did hear.
Well, I have to. If I'm the best point guard in the East for 3 years, does that mean that the best point guard in the West is like head and shoulders above me all the time?
That's kind of like the implication. If you have to be the best point guard in the East for 3 years to be in a conversation with the best point guard in the West, you're just saying that because you're in the East, you have to do things for longer.
Well, here's the thing, Mars, and I've always stood on this logic. I can't be the best in the world until I'm the best in my neighborhood. So until I can rough up everybody in my neighborhood, I can't come to your neighborhood and say I'm better than you. No, I ain't even the best in my own neighborhood. So the idea that I'm not the best point guard in the East for a number of years, how can I be the best point guard in the league?
But what if you got the best?
Then that applies to the same as the best point guards in the West. How can the best point guard in the West be the best point guard in the league if they haven't been the best point guard in the West for a number of years?
I mean,
many would argue that Shea only passed to Luka last season. So it hasn't been a number of years.
Well, here's the difference, though. Here's the difference with that, though, Mars. The difference is that I feel like those two guys have been close. Like, it's not like Luka has been the best point guard in the West, and it's just been Luka and everybody else. I mean, years have come along, and as years have come along, Shea has gotten closer and closer. And then at some point, he has passed him. So I feel like if I'm now the best point guard in the Eastern Conference, or I'm the best quarterback in the AFC. Well, I'm the best quarterback in the AFC because it took me years to pass somebody. Now I'm at the top of the ladder, and I've been at the top of the ladder for a while. It's not saying I don't think he's saying that I'm at the top of the ladder just right now. No, I'm at the top of the ladder, and I've been up here for a while. So the fact that I've been up here for a while, now I can be compared to the guy who's at the top of the ladder in the Western Conference, and he's been up there for a while.
Hey.
All right, the next super chat that we got is from Reginald Deborah. Reginald said, and last, real talk saying some real shit. We don't know the GOAT's dad because he's a demigod. Hashtag Black Jesus. 2011 was NBA Illuminati narrative or some under the table plant trees thing for the Mavs. Shout out to Pendrick Perkins.
I just want again to be on record that if y'all think that this generation glazes LeBron James, I just want you to remember they were calling Michael Jordan Jesus. I just want y'all to keep that on your membrane, right? They were calling Mike the Lord and Savior.
Real talk. I promise. Like what you hear now is nothing to what it was like.
Yeah,
back then. Like what you hear now is way different to what it was like back then. Like what it was like back then.
It was bigger than the game, man.
It was like basketball. We've never seen anything like this. We will never see anything like this ever again. Ever.
And we haven't.
Still ain't seen nothing like it.
I wish Twitter
we
existed
haven't.
back then. Yeah,
Man, Mars, I promise you.
And chill. You better not sit here and act like we have. And also, you better not sit here and act like it wasn't deserving all the glaze and praise he was getting.
Oh, he was definitely deserving.
He was glazable. Yeah, he was glazable.
Super glazable.
He was incredible. Jordan was incredible. Holy shit! I'm not gonna argue that point. He was.
It go both ways. Still, we've never have and never will see anything like Shaq again. I guarantee we won't see nothing like Bron again. Ain't seen nothing like Jordan again. To respect real talk, Bean made a good case. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think we're gonna see nothing like Bean again either though. Like Jordan, I think Jordan and Kobe were a good comparison, but both of them dudes was different in their own right too though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
You know what's funny?
Like Braun, but I see Paolo right now.
Okay, Mars. All righty.
Relax, brother.
You know what's funny?
Take a chill pill, brother. Take a chill pill.
You suck, I swear.
Damian. I was thinking about why, like, when we talk about the different generations of a game and how players are getting better, right? In all of sports, not just basketball, but all of sport. I think the reason why we have a hard time with basketball is because when you think about it, evolution isn't usually just skill. It's the evolution of athleticism and the top players being better athletes than the former years, right? And so I think some basketball fans are having a problem with that, though, because when you look at the best players previously to now, you're not seeing like the athletic growth of these players, right? Like Shea isn't a better athlete than Kobe or Mike or, the other premier two guards of the league. Jokic obviously isn't the athlete of Shaquille O'Neal, right? Hakeem Olajuwon. Whereas in these other sports, it's not only that you see the skill evolution, you see the athleticism evolution. But we don't see that right now. Like Luka is another one, premier player today. Not the athlete of these former, right? He's not the athlete of Dwayne Wade. You see what I'm saying? So I think people are having a hard time with that.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I think Chill made a good point where it's basically the only sport I've seen where we can't accept that guys get better with time. Like evolution somehow doesn't exist in the NBA for some reason, but I think it's because, and I mean this respectfully, for me and my generation growing up, there were certain platforms that were mainstream media that were entertainment based, and we didn't have dialogue like we have now today on these type of platforms. And I think, and it's sad to say, I think that there's a whole generation of people and fans that were sort of poisoned a little bit with how the game was discussed. And I think that there's a generational gap where we missed just appreciating players, to be honest with you. So there's a disconnect now between generations, and you actually see it carry in to players and former players, like why the older generation speaks down on the younger generation and vice versa. I think that disconnect happened because we were incorrect in the way we were covering the game, and it's a shame. But I think some of that now is, being repaired with us having situations like this where we can talk about different guys across different eras, compare them, but also appreciate them for what they sort of were in their era. But I don't think that's necessarily always existed, which is tough.
These kids just don't got no respect. I mean, that's all it is.
But like even like Magic and Bird, we don't look at them as like female athletes today. But like Magic being 6'9" and that fast and that quick, and being able to handle the ball and stuff, he was an athletic 1-of-1 during that time. Kind of same with Larry Bird. He was around 6'10", doing like these perimeter skill things, and they hadn't really been seen. The reason why we were so quick to be like, oh, Wemby can be a GOAT is because of his physical, outlier abilities that he has, right? 7'5", that fluid, can jump, is good on his feet. You know what I'm saying? Like that part of it, I think more so than any other sport is lacking as far as the evolution of the athleticism for the game, in my opinion, as far as the upper echelon of players.
Yeah. All right, y'all.
Mikey,
the next super chat.
You know who will never see another one again, Mikey?
Giannis.
Oh, man,
Jabari Parker. I know. Yeah, I know it.
Yes.
Ox, what is with you with these guys, Ox? Like,
chill. We gotta move on.
It was going to be something. I'm with you, man.
My man, Jabari, man.
What's he going to get?
A Jabari Parker jersey.
He got one.
He's going to get a Jabari Parker jersey.
He absolutely got one in there.
No, if he doesn't, he's a fraud. Yeah,
there it is right there. There it is right there.
Mikey had hope.
He got a Jabari Parker. He got a Jabari Parker jersey. He absolutely does.
I do.
He got one.
Yes, sir.
He does. He has to have
Condolences,
one.
Shout out to boy Jabari.
You can't be a Bucks guy and not have one. You can't.
Oh no.
Oh damn!
And remember,
Water, he just tested your gangster.
Had this conversation up here.
Those two were supposed to run the league, man.
Well, people forget that Giannis was the insurance. Jabari was supposed to be the guy. Yeah. And Giannis turned into the guy. That's what ended up happening.
Right, so chill. That's what it is with these dudes. You just asked me, what is it with you with these dudes? What you just said, chill. Jabari was the man.
He was supposed to be the guy.
I could shed a tear right there.
Yeah, he was supposed to be the guy.
Jabari,
the best Blue Devil that ever lived. Oh, yeah,
Jabari Parker.
You're not seeing Kambuza. You got it. No, we're not seeing Kambuza right now. I guess.
Cowboy Bob said, offense shows on the scoreboard, defense doesn't. You need an eye test, or you need eyes for defensive talent. Cade isn't better than Maxey. Yes, Maxey's playing more minutes, boost his stats, but in the game, Maxey does more. Go New York, go.
First of all,
I think Cade's better than Maxey.
Not only that, yes, defense does show up on the scoreboard. The Heat held Minnesota to 97 points yesterday. I mean, Minnesota held the Heat to 97 points yesterday. 100% it shows up on the scoreboard. Yes, it does. That's not true, brother. Yes, it does.
I think Cade's better as well.
Shout out to Tyrese Maxey, though. But give me Cade.
I don't think
better distributor, better one-on-one player, better downhill guy, off the dribble.
Defensive everything.
Bigger, better passer. I already said distributor. I think he had better playmaker too. Yeah.
Mikey, who you got? Cade or Maxey?
I would say Cade. I like what Tyrese Maxey brings. I do like scoring. Like, I'm a big scoring guy. And I like Maxey's quickness and whatnot. But I think as a collective of all what Cade can do, I like Cade better.
Let's say Bobby Portis was still in his prime and the most coveted asset in the league, and you could trade him for either Tyrese Maxey or Cade Cunningham. Who would you do? Who would you rather have on the Bucks?
Cade, absolutely.
Cade, okay.
Yeah.
I like Maxey.
Mikey, I got a question real quick. I got a question for Mikey real quick. Were you upset about the Larry Sanders stuff too? Like, were you high on him?
Ooh,
I was.
Yeah, I think because I think I was like in middle school during that time, and I just didn't understand it. And so, like, even still, like, knowing what happened, whatever, it's still like stupid and whatnot. But I just couldn't like wrap my brain around, because he had just signed that contract too, and I'm like, because he did show promise. He had a triple-double with blocks one game, like because also when you think about Giannis and Jabari and them, Larry Sanders was briefly a part of that young group who was supposed to just be a part of the core that
John
takes
Henson.
Hey, Mars, I was coming
John
with him
Henson.
just next. Hey, I was just waiting for this.
They had a good ass
John
team.
Thon
That's why you
Maker.
bullshitting.
We
They had a good
apologize.
team,
Hey, I
yo.
apologize on behalf of
They
my
did.
people for Thon Maker, by the way.
Oh my gosh, he was supposed to. Yeah,
My man
Playoff
lied about his
Thon.
age. I'm sorry.
Those who know about playoff Thon, he was electric in those playoffs.
And I thought Don was about to take over I thought Don was going to be what Giannis ended up becoming. Do you guys remember Don's high school highlights?
Oh yeah,
He broke Bam. He has one of his highlights is he broke Bam.
Yeah, when he
Yep.
broke off Bam and hit a three.
Because he was 28 years old.
Not even necessarily Giannis. More like Wemby. I thought Don was going to be what Wemby was doing today.
Ron,
Yeah.
what's your problem? What's your problem with John Henson, Ron? John
Come
Henson
on,
was
man.
cold.
Come on.
he had a mean left hook.
He was.
The show had a mean left hook, but
Boy,
he left a lot to be desired.
Ox loved them 5 and 6.
Not a basketball.
He loved them chicks, B.
He loved them fupas.
Cold.
Ox, you love them fupas and tortas?
He does, yo.
Hey,
Ox,
man.
he loved a chick with the little
Hey,
waist with
man.
glasses. She
He finna
ain't
go
really
off
that
the
cute.
Little
She
waist.
she got a fat little ass.
She got a kangaroo pouch.
Yeah.
Go off the rails.
Uh-huh. He love her. So anyway,
All
as you
right,
said,
you right, real talk. Let me bring it back in. Eric Espinoza said, "What up, fellas? Shout out Wemby for putting on a virtuoso last night in 21 minutes, but sadly not coming up with the victory. If I were BW, what's BW? Or
I
who's
thought it was
BW?
black woman, but obviously that doesn't fit. So I don't
Ox
know.
is a big woman.
San Antonio.
Leave me out of this.
Big
What
women.
you
What's
talking about?
BW?
I don't know. I would big.
If
women.
I was
Shit,
BW,
GM
I would
name or-
call the Pelicans to see what's going on with Trey Murphy. GSG. Go Spurs, go.
That was a good
What
game
does
last night,
anybody know what BW is?
I don't know. what
Is
that
the
means.
Spurs
I have no
GM's
clue.
name
Spurs
BW?
GM.
Is it
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, who's the
maybe.
Spurs
I don't
GM?
know.
Spurs
I know
GM?
BBW.
Brian Wright. Brian
Oh,
Wright.
no,
Brian
B-
Wright.
Ah,
Okay,
there we go.
okay.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Good
Got
work.
it, got
There
it,
we
got
go.
it.
There we go. Good work,
There we
guys.
go.
Oh,
Brian
because the
Wright.
San Antonio thing.
Yeah, the
Brian
San
Wright.
Antonio big one.
Good work. Good work, team. Good work, team.
You know.
It
I
has
was
been,
just trying to
he
put
was
two and
all
two
the
together.
keep me out
I
of
don't
that.
got the best math.
Big
bro.
women does kind of apply. So
but it has been
No,
kind of
it-
tricky, Ron, in San Antonio as of late. I mean, like it's crazy how things could change over the course of a couple of days or a week because San Antonio was basically the favorites now because they had served Oklahoma City 3 times within like a matter of 12 days. I think they dropped 4 of their last 6 games. They have not been
Still
good.
the 2 seed.
Yeah, I mean, they
Yeah.
still the 2 seed, but they've dropped 4 of their
They
last
lost
6.
yesterday because they took Wemby out the game.
Yeah,
Wemby was solid.
minutes
They
restriction,
took him out the
minutes
no
restriction,
minutes
you know.
gimmick. This
Yeah,
is
minutes restriction.
yeah.
He
At
played
what
just
point
He's
do
doing
you
his
enough
karate
stop
to
kick
be
that?
pre-game.
I know he over that too, by the way. I
Yeah,
know
when you-
he's sick of this minutes restriction thing. But
Well,
it's
they
for-
ramped him up and then he got hurt.
Yeah, it's for your.
No, it's a I would say coincidence, but still, like, you gotta protect Wemby, man. Play him
Yeah.
4 minutes. Like, you
Yeah.
know, play him 1 minute a quarter and hope he scores 8 points.
We'll take the restrictions off you come playoff time.
I would just say Fox was god awful last night. He'll be.
You got to
better,
go in
though.
the fourth a little bit though.
He did get it going in for a
Gotta
little
go
bit,
in
but
the
he
fourth.
wasn't great last night. I don't like their rotations. Like I don't know if y'all watch San Antonio, but like he doesn't sub Fox and Wemby back in the game even when they're healthy until like 5 minutes left in the fourth. Like I don't know. They'll be down like 8 and be like, oh yeah, Fox and Wemby come back in and be hot and win the game. And they pulled it out a lot doing that. So I can't even like blame them, but like, I don't know.
JJ Redick does the same
that's
thing.
hard.
JJ Redick does the same thing with Ayton and Jackson Hayes. Like
James,
he'll have Ayton on the floor and then he'll pull Ayton like with 6 minutes left in the fourth until like 4 minutes left. And it's not because he's tired or anything like that, but he'll just put Jackson Hayes back in the game. I'm like, what are you doing? Stick with the big fella.
Are
What
we
are you
going to
doing?
acknowledge the run that Julian Champagne's on?
By the way,
he having his career stretch. I don't know what he go. Now they're losing, but he had 11 threes against the Knicks. He went crazy in the first quarter yesterday. He had like 20 against the Blazers or whatever. Like Julian Champagny having himself
Great summer league story.
a little run. So shout out to him.
Poor Jeremy Sohan. That boy ain't never gonna see that floor again. Keldon
He
Johnson
touched the floor a little bit yesterday. But yeah, Jeremy
Nah, but
Sohan probably he probably gonna get out of there.
He's gonna get traded, bro. He's gonna get traded.
And his brother played good last night too, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Who, Justin?
Yeah, his brother played good last night too.
Justin Champagny having a sneaky good year. If I'm a good team, I'm looking at Justin Champagny as like this versatile wing who gonna rebound, run the floor hard, like do those type of little things.
There's some Bucks fans who want him.
Yeah, your team can't rebound. Yeah, go get Justin Champagny.
Yeah.
He'd help that. He averaging 2 offensive rebounds a game.
Absolutely.
Champagny, for the chat, Champagny made his mark in the summer league, like when he came through.
Which one?
And then Julian. He made his mark in the summer league and he got a roster spot, and then he got into the rotation. Now he's thriving. That's why it's a good summer league story.
Shout out Champagny. Shout out both of them. Shout out the brothers. They both hooping. Dre Knows Ball sent through a super chat and said, Mars, like I said, ... Luka MVP is still alive. Lakers can beat 2 tonight if they beat Wemby. SGA isn't shooting 55% all year. Lakers starting Jake LaRavia and winning. Luka is so clutch. Lakers 13-0 in the clutch. He's talking about wins. The Lakers have won every single game that it's been a clutch game.
Yeah, well, when you're in clutch games against the Pelicans, shit, I hope. Yeah, we'll see what Shea ends up with his season field goal percentage being. I'm fairly confident it will stay around 55. But yeah, all it takes is a sprained knee from Shea, and Luka gonna be right there. That's all it takes.
Mm-hmm.
Injuries.
That clutch stuff though, like they are 13-0, but they had there's not really many great teams in that 13. I'll just say that. Like yesterday against the Pelicans, they played the whole game like they only needed like a 5-minute stretch in the fourth to win it, and they did. So they've been doing that a lot lately, though.
Shout out to Trey Murphy.
All right, fellas. Well, let's go ahead and get into it. My man 2K Mikey is up here. As you can see, he is a Bucks fan through and through, fear to dear. Mikey, I was there with you last year. Due to certain circumstances, I've had to, I have a restraining order. But who knows? I may be back. However, the Milwaukee Bucks right now have an elephant in the room, if you will. And that elephant in the room is whether Giannis will be traded or whether they will make a move to get Giannis more help. So, Mikey, to kick off the conversation, I got to ask you, would you rather trade Giannis and rebuild, or would you rather seek additional help for Giannis?
I'm a selfish guy, and I personally love watching Giannis play for my basketball team. I don't want to see him go to any other team, so I'm willing to stick this out however long it needs to be. Now, how realistic is that? I don't know. But from what I can understand, it seems like they're more likely to keep Giannis and make those trades to better this team. And I mean, look at when I think the reason why these talks had been so heightened, I mean, it's easy. It's as easy as the record, obviously, right? And the Bucks being 12th place. How many games has Giannis missed? The Bucks maybe have 2 or 3 wins without him. It doesn't matter if he's going to New York. It doesn't matter if he's going to Atlanta, LA, wherever he's going. If he's not going to play, they're also not going to win either, especially when you consider any type of package they have to give to get a player like Giannis, right? So, in my opinion, take this year to see how far they can get. They're only 4 games, maybe, out of the 5th or 6th seed, right? So they're not that far out of it. Giannis hasn't even played. I guarantee you if he did play, they would be at least above 500. Obviously, that's a low bar. But they would at least be 500, and these talks would be way less than what they are right now.
They're 3-11 without Giannis.
Garbage.
Horrible. And so, there is, to a certain extent, you don't want to have a player feel like they have to play all 82 games for you to have a flying chance in this league. Because, some of those losses like you should be able to win. There was a couple losses. Both games against the Wizards, Giannis played, and they end up losing to one of the worst teams in the NBA. Like, so there are moments. Like, I don't want to make it seem like, oh, it's only because Giannis isn't playing. Like, that's the reason why they're struggling. Like you said, we can't rebound. We don't have a wing. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have, like, there's still glaring issues with this team. That's why I say moves need to be made to help the team. Absolutely. But I'm not considering trading him right now.
I was up here fighting for my life when I said not before the season, during the season, before Giannis got hurt against Cleveland, that you guys had a good team and it was working. When Giannis got hurt and then y'all dropped those 8 straight, that's when it went the other way. Yep. Yeah, when Giannis got hurt and Ryan is it? I got to make sure I get his name right. Is it Rollins? Right. When Ryan Rollins was playing great off of Giannis, he was getting busy. In addition to Ryan Rollins getting busy, they had a real good chemistry with their perimeter guys. Then they get KPJ back, and he's been fantastic. But all of this started when Giannis got hurt against Cleveland. Once Giannis got hurt against Cleveland, now they had to completely revamp that offense. They had to go in a different direction. Now you get Giannis back. Now we got to get back to what we was doing when Giannis was here, and that threw off the whole chemistry of the unit. I think this was a legit playoff team before Giannis got hurt.
Yeah, and I like that you mentioned KPJ. Yep. Because he got injured 10 minutes into the season. And at that point, he had 10 points in the game already. Yeah. You know, and he's played, 17, 18 games so far. So it's not like a huge sample size. But we've seen in the minutes that he's played, he's had his moments where it's like, okay, he's either hot or he's cold. But he's had plenty of moments this season where he's dropping 20, 25, 30 points, taking over, where you didn't have that for the first month of the season. And then he comes back. And as soon as he comes back, Giannis gets injured. And it's just like, how are you this was not the team that was supposed to come into the season. Like, we're missing 2 starters. Like, those are huge guys that you're missing. And obviously, like I said, you want to win games even while you're down and while you're hurt. But you got to at least understand the slip up, you know.
And since Gary Trent Jr. needs to just stop playing completely.
I don't know if that play against Indiana gave him ghosts or what. Because he was good at the end of the season. He played himself because he had a rough start to last season. He got benched. And the rest of the season, he was on the bench. And then he played himself back into a starting role. He had a couple 30-point games in the playoffs against Indiana. That game where he dropped that pass out of bounds, he had, 33, 36 points, something like that?
Hooping.
Like
he was hooping.
The player that we see this year compared to last season is night and day. And I don't know if it was that moment that just shook him. I don't know what it is.
What would you like to see, Mickey? Are you a Trae Young guy? Are you a Zach LaVine guy? Are you superstar help?
I think the worst thing the Bucks can do is give up their whole package, which is really going to consist of Portis and Kuzma, and then that 2031 first round pick, for a guy like Zach LaVine in a panic move.
Wait, don't do that.
Yeah. There was a report saying
that's all Sacramento can get is Kuzma and Bobby Portis.
That's good hoops. They need it. They don't got Sabonis.
So I think I want to stay away from those type of deals. And I think I mentioned not having any wings. Like, literally, the Bucks are compiled of 6'4" dudes or 7 feet dudes. They have
no in betweens.
They had Taurean Prince. They're literally the only playable wing they had was Taurean Prince, who had a herniated disc in his neck. See, that's another injury too. He was the only wing they had, and he gets hurt in, I think, November. He got hurt, and so they've been playing this whole time without a wing. They're using Gary Harris basically as a 6'5", small forward basically. Yeah. And to his credit, he definitely had a rough start. He's been actually pretty playable recently. But I mean, that's the type of situation we're in, where it's we're having a 31-year-old as your only wing, and he's not even really a wing. He's
what does that say about Zach
LaVine?
You've
got Amir Coffey,
right?
Amir Coffey.
I don't know. I literally don't even remember the last time Amir Coffey played.
I don't think the Bucks would do that. But I mean, what does that say about Zach LaVine if I'm getting Kuz, I'm giving up Kuz, and who else?
Bobby
Portis.
Portis.
That's the only package we have, really.
Right. Well,
but isn't that the issue though, Mikey? Like, are you worried that if you don't flip Giannis for like a haul to give you another 10 years, that's half decent? Are you worried about that too?
A little bit, and that's why it's like he's got a player option, I believe, not next year, but the year after, right? So I think he's got one more year.
Yeah, that's right.
And so that's where I'm like, okay, in the off season, kind of see where the team's at. I'm not in the position of like, oh, let's just stay and do nothing and see if it works out. Wait for Taurean Prince to get healthy because he'll save this team. No, that I would rather go out swinging. And you guys were laughing about Portis and Kuzma being the package. That's not a huge like. I love Portis and what he's been able to do in Milwaukee, but like it's not like you're emptying the clip. You still got good young guys. Like if there's a trade, let's say for MPJ, and you're trading Rollins or you're trading AJ Green or whoever, that's where, and again, the pick, that's where I'm slightly cautious to your point. Like, yeah, you don't want to give up literally every young asset that you have, but if you can make a move out of Portis and out of Kuzma and fix that need for one, rebounding, and two, just that lack of a wing, like I'm here for it. I would rather go down swinging and then getting to the offseason, okay, maybe it didn't work out, maybe Giannis does one out, and then figuring out that.
Real talk, I think they did everything that they could to keep Giannis happy though throughout the course of his career. I think that they did everything that they could to build a unit around him where they can compete for championships, right? So when you got Bledsoe, you already had it was him and Middleton. But then when you got Bledsoe, okay, Bledsoe didn't work out because Bledsoe wouldn't shoot the basketball past 12 feet. And you need to be able to shoot the basketball, even though the game has changed even more. But then you take Bledsoe out of the lineup and you get now Drew Holiday in the lineup, who's a better version of that, and you win with him. But then Middleton goes out of the lineup, and then you end up losing now Drew Holiday for Damian Lillard, and you lose all of those draft picks, which you need. But we're doing that to keep Giannis engaged. We're doing that to keep Giannis happy. So I don't think that they were just sitting on their hands, not doing anything. They were doing everything that they could to keep this team viable. I think that they were doing everything that they could to keep this team a championship level, not a championship level team, or at least a playoff contending team, right? And it didn't help that Giannis ended up getting banged up. That didn't help. But with that being said, I can't blame Milwaukee because this isn't one of those huge markets where it's attractive to guys. Like, guys aren't coming to Milwaukee in free agency. That's just not happening, right? So I'm either doing it in the draft, or I'm doing it in the draft, or I'm doing it in trades. And I think that they did everything that they could to keep Giannis happy. Now, does that mean that Giannis is now at the end of his rope where he just wants out? Like I already told you, and like I told you, my man, I told these guys up here, with Giannis, you got to put the divorce papers in front of me at the family dinner at Christmas in front of everybody. And even then, I'm still like, yo, we going to therapy. I ain't signing them.
Am I still on Pluto?
Talk again.
I'm still on
Say
Pluto.
I am real talk.
Yeah.
Say I am real talk.
Terrible.
Okay, yes, I am real talk.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you said you sound terrible. You should just leave.
No, you good. Don't. This is he trolling.
Okay,
Don't
okay, facts. No. What I would say though about the Milwaukee Giannis situation is there's not blame in my opinion. I just think it's ran its course, right? I just think that Milwaukee did try to win multiple times with Giannis, right? So I'm not even going to be one to come up here and be like, oh, Milwaukee never put a team around them and yada, yada, yada. I do think they've made multiple efforts and multiple attempts to help Giannis win a championship, and they got one, right? But also, if I'm Giannis, in those attempts to try to win championships, we've kind of ran out of options. You know what I'm saying? We've kind of ran out of trade pieces. We've kind of ran out of draft capital. And the team that we have right now, quite frankly, just isn't good enough. And they're not just one move away from being good enough either. So I just think it's ran its course. I think Milwaukee did what they needed to do with Giannis. They won a championship, right? And Giannis definitely provided the value to Milwaukee that he was supposed to and more. But it's just time for a divorce. It's time for, what I'm saying? Hey,
You ever, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes people break up and it ain't really no beef. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like, oh, I'm mad at you, you mad at me. It's just we ran our course. We ran our course, and it's just time to move on. And that's how I feel about Milwaukee and Giannis. I think it was efforts made from both ends to get better. It hasn't. Let's move on.
Right. I think that's why I'm been so kind of hard on the communication thing. And obviously I don't know exactly what the communication looks like between front office, Giannis, his agent. But when like Giannis has come out and said things like, well, if my agent and them talk about it, that don't got nothing to do with me or whatever, something along those lines. And I just think that that's a way for it to be an ugly split. When if you guys just communicate openly, we can have an amicable separation. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to go this way. Y'all need to make it happen, and let's work together to make it work. I just like you said, things run their course, man. They run their course.
Question.
I think they had a good run. I personally they got a championship out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like I think there was. I don't think that this is close to a failure. Milwaukee's tenure in Milwaukee. Now, to be a Bucks fan, Mikey, you might have a different outlook on it. I don't know how you and Bucks fans feel about it, but from the outside looking in, you know what I'm saying? And obviously it might be because I'm a Kings fan and we don't win shit. But I'm like, y'all, you know what I'm saying? Y'all got a championship out of it. I think y'all had a decent run. And dealt with a lot up there, too, as far as injuries go. We talked about Jabari. You know what I'm saying? Y'all made some moves. Dame got hurt. I mean, I think this was a good run. If Giannis were to leave here and y'all get a good package back for him, I think this was as good as it gets, honestly. Well, not, I mean,
my question,
the Warriors for championships. But
2019, the year y'all lost to Toronto in the East Finals.
Yep.
Exit, take Bledsoe out and put Drew in. Do y'all beat Toronto?
I think so. Eric was almost unplayable in that series. And you look at the time too, because I will say when Drew got to his later years in Milwaukee, it was like, okay, maybe he can't do what he could do in that first year. Even in that first year, he had games where he'd shoot 5 for 23 or whatever. But I think they were lacking depth and playable pieces. They had George Hill as a guy stepping up. And credit to George Hill because he was great in that during that playoff run. But when he's your lead guard, you're not going to win, especially when you're playing a Raptor team that I think people now are accepting. Like, yeah, that team was really good. Like, obviously, Golden State was injured, but that Raptors team was really good.
They had a good team.
And so when you have like one of your top 3 guys being that unplayable, I think absolutely Drew could take you over the top. And mind you, they were up 2-0 anyways. So that's how I feel about
Mikey,
it.
I don't know what Drew Holiday has to do with Kawhi Leonard walking y'all down and putting belt to ass. I don't know.
Giannis
We're just gonna erase Kyle Lowry's contributions in that series. We're gonna erase Fred VanVleet going crazy in that series.
I don't know if you're directing that at me, Mars. I'm not erasing anything.
I'm directing it at you, Ox. Yeah, I'm directing it at you. Let's just take them dudes off the table.
I didn't take.
Leonard was the reason. Leonard was the reason why.
Yes,
he won 4 straight. He was the sole reason.
Yes, he was. No. I mean, obviously, Kyle Lowry, they all did their thing. Fred VanVleet did his thing. All them dudes did their thing. But yeah, Kawhi's the reason, of course.
Did Leonard take the assignment, Ox?
Kawhi, well, they built a wall, and Kawhi Leonard was the centerpiece of that wall, and all the cement that held those blocks together. Yes, he was. I know how much y'all discredit, but
it's not discredit. But you do that. You said Norman Powell can do what SGA doing in OKC, but God forbid we bring up Devin Booker.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said. Y'all don't.
No, I listen. I listen to Ox.
Y'all don't listen.
You said he could average 30.
I don't listen.
You said he could average 30.
I didn't say for a second he could beat SGA. I said you could put him over there. He could average 30.
Exactly.
But according to y'all, SGA does a lot more than just average 30. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and if we took Kawhi in 2019 and we put Paul George in 2019, they still win a championship.
Okay, so what that don't to me that's not a knock at Kawhi. See,
It's not,
y'all the sensitive, sentimental ass niggas up here that hear something and jump off a cliff and be like, "How dare you?" I don't care. You take Kawhi Leonard off that team and put Jimmy Butler on that team.
They
could do it too.
They won a championship.
So what that got to do with Kawhi?
I know Kate Cunningham would do it.
Facts.
But I want to bring this back to the Bucks though, y'all.
Yeah.
I've said this before, and I'm gonna say this again. All good things must come to an end, y'all.
Paul George.
Giannis will retire at some moment in time. So either way it goes, the Bucks are gonna have to move off of Giannis one way or another. My thing is sail high while you still have the opportunity. And this is the perfect year to do that. You got guys like Cam Boozer running around in the NCAA. AJ DeBanza, Darren Peterson, Caleb Williams. You never know what that pick's going to hit for, but I'm like, that Pelicans pick, I need that. On top of the other assets that they have in Atlanta, and I'm not even talking about Trey. I'll take that Pelicans pick. I know you guys hate Zachary Ricochet. I know you guys are disgusted in him, but I'll take Zachary Ricochet in a boatload of picks. And if Trey comes with it too, all right, cool. We'll take Trey as well. In a boatload of picks. Maybe even a 3-team trade where we get some other things as well. But that pick right there, that's what I want.
Hey, Ron, the recent history of the NBA is that, you know, they'll work those ping pong balls out for you if you trade one of them upper echelon players.
To LA. To LA.
No, not just to LA. Because if you look back, right, Luka gets traded, all of a sudden, Cooper Flag, you know what I'm saying? Now he's the number one pick going to Dallas. AD gets traded, all of a sudden, New Orleans gets Zion.
Wait, Luka gets traded to where? Luka gets traded to where?
To the Lakers.
It doesn't matter. Where
AD got traded to where? AD got traded to
the Lakers.
So are we
3-team trade, Morris? Giannis to LA, Austin Reeves to Atlanta.
You know what I'm saying?
Bucks get that pick.
I'm just saying. That boy just said DeMar DeRozan and Rudy
Indiana's
Gobert
doing it the
better
right
than
way.
Paul George. You need to stop, Ox.
Who said that? Who said that?
He needs to stop in the chat immediately.
Hey, Damian, what'd you say?
Ox so nasty, yo.
I said Indiana's doing it the right way. They got the right idea. Like that finals team's coming back plus a top 5 pick. So
hey, if I was the Bucks, I'd be hollering at Indiana too. I know you guys are rivals. I know you guys are, you know.
About what?
Yeah,
Ron?
they're not.
Had some heated series.
About what, Ron?
I would still holler at them.
About what,
Tell me
Ron?
no.
What
Hey, real talk. I didn't approach chicks that I knew was gonna tell me no. But you gonna have to tell me no. And the next time I see you, you know what? Since you told me no, and I ain't like the way you told me no, I'm gonna see you again next time, and I'm gonna press you again. If the Pacers don't like us, all right, tell us no. But you're not telling the Bucks no. You're saying no to you adding Giannis Antetokounmpo, to Tyrese Halliburton, Pascal Siakam, Andrew Nembhard. You say what I'm?
Okay, so what are you?
What are you adding Giannis to that? What are you giving them? Jarvis Walker and Benedict Mathurin?
No, what I'm saying is, if I'm the Bucks, I want that pick. I'm thinking I understand that. What I'm telling you guys is my vision. If I'm the GM of the Bucks, I want a pick. That in like obviously more is gonna come with it. I know you have to match up money. I know all of that. I'm saying I'm starting with who has these good picks, who has the opportunity to give me a top 3 pick. I'm starting there. And then I'm building the stuff from there. And once again, you guys know Atlanta. It's 3-team trades, 4-team trades. Hell, we seen a 7-team trade last year.
That's going to be top 3. I mean, the only team that's going to have a high pick that is looking to be good next year is going to be the Hawks and the Pacers, right? Unless there's some crazy lottery luck, but that's not going to mean much.
I mean, we did see the 2 last number 1 picks barely missed the playoffs. Atlanta barely missed the playoffs, and they ended up with the number 1 pick.
Winning the draft lottery and the Ricochet draft, they ain't even really winning the draft lottery for real. You just got the 9th pick. Like, I don't know. That's not a number 1 pick.
Well, actually, it is good. It's just that you might have picked wrong. When you think about it, I picked the wrong guy.
Well, Ricochet wasn't a consensus number 1, but that was strong number 1 push for Zachary Ricochet.
Miami beat
them,
right?
Like, by the time you got to the draft, Zachary Ricochet was considered a top 3 pick. Like, so they got him.
Role player draft, you know. I
told y'all my top.
The way Alex saw looking in year 2, Matas looking kind of interesting when
Stephon
Josh Giddey out the
Castle gonna be
lineup.
more than a role player.
Yeah, Stephon Castle in that draft. Like, I mean,
as of today, he's a role player.
Yeah, we might just be at the point where Zachary Risachet just not that good. But we'll see.
Doesn't help that Alex Saw is doing what he's doing as
no, well, he's in year 2. I'm not gonna write off his whole career, but I'll say today, the number 1 pick from the 24 draft is not good. But we'll see. We'll see what he turns into.
Yo, Mikey. So if there's any team, because you're a Giannis fan, right? You're a Giannis guy.
Right. Absolutely.
You're still gonna like him wherever he goes. So
See,
maybe you're not a Giannis fan. You're a Bucks fan.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. If he goes to New York, or if he goes to LA, or even Indiana in that scenario, I don't like the Pacers. I don't like these big market teams. It's gonna be hard for me. Like, let's say the Knicks make the finals and play whoever, OKC or whatever. It's gonna be hard for me to say, oh yeah, I want Giannis to win with New York. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
I like that, Mikey.
Mikey, I know exactly what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying.
Ron, I told you this in LA. Like, I've been a Bucks fan before Giannis, and I'm going to continue to be a Bucks fan after Giannis. Like, that's never going to change. I'm going to forever appreciate what he's brought to this team, but it's hard for me to say, look at these. And going all the way back to the LeBron stuff, part of the reason I hated him was him going to Miami. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of, it's obviously different situations here, but
what does that have to do with you?
Because, one, I was a kid, mind you.
When you're a kid, it's a little bit different. You should know about this sort of stuff, man.
It's not like it's like, oh man, Bron ruined my title hopes.
Exactly.
We had to play them 4 times a year, and we would lose by 50 every game, and I'm like, that's not fair. Really, I think
making the playoffs below 500. You should be mad at the Eastern Conference for allowing you to make the playoffs.
And Ron, stop acting like. And Ron, stop acting like when you break up with her that you just want to see her do well. No, you don't, Ron. You even if it's amicable, you don't want to see her go. You don't want to see her marry this dude and live in a palace as a princess. No, you don't. In fact, what you really want, Ron, is you want to see her do okay, but you want to be doing better. So just to Mikey's point, do you think Mikey wants Giannis to go to Oklahoma City and run off 3 straight titles?
Selfish.
He should be doing that with us.
Y'all got to get that malice out your heart.
I told you I was.
That's not true love.
He should be doing that with us.
That's not true love.
You think Mikey wants to see Giannis go off to Indiana and win?
But you want your life to be better, right? But you want your life to be better.
He's supposed to be doing that with us.
I'm good with where I'm. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a problem if me and you had great years together and we just can't move forward because we've had some disagreements and whatnot. Hey, go live your best life. You know what I'm saying? I still love you because I appreciate all that you brought to me.
But do you want their best life to be better than your life?
No, you don't.
You got to keep your eyes on your yard, Morris. You got to keep your eyes on your yard. That ain't your business.
I ain't said you have to win. I'm asking, what do you want? Do you want their best life to be better than your life? That's it.
I want to do better than everybody. I want to do better than everybody.
That's it. That's all that's being said.
But the thing about it though is, the thing about it though is, Ox, I'm focused on my yard, but I want her yard to be fruitful too. Cause chill, you never know. Hey, 5-6 years later, I might spin the block. I might end up in that yard again.
You know what I'm saying?
You gonna get a Bron back to Cleveland? You gonna get a Bron back to Cleveland? That's
to Mikey's point,
and that was the best Bron.
Mikey does not want to see Giannis move on to Indiana and them run off 2-3 championships. You're supposed to be doing that with us. He does not want to see them in Oklahoma City winning 2 or 3 championships. You're supposed to be doing that with us. No. Now that doesn't mean that I don't want to see you do well, but it's in my face. It's everywhere I turn around. I got to see parades, and I got to see him winning the league MVP again, and I got to see them winning championships again. Wait a minute, you're supposed to be doing that with us. You ain't supposed to be doing that with them.
He wasn't doing it with you anymore because y'all couldn't do it anymore.
Right, exactly.
If you can't provide here what they can provide over there, then we're not going to be as successful. Yeah. Sometimes we got to look within.
I do get that. I 100% get that. I do. And to have and let's not forget, I mean, what are we in? This is the 25-26 season. Giannis been there, 12 years? So it's not like
a long time.
Yeah, it ain't like Giannis been there for like 5 or 6 years. He's been there for 12 years, man.
But Michael, would you be happy for him? Like if he won another one somewhere else?
No,
in
he
the
wouldn't.
end, I would have like, okay, oh well, like really, I'm really getting into the big market stuff. Like I said, you go into Sacramento, I don't care. Good for Kings fans, you know what I'm saying? Like that, I wouldn't care.
Look.
My man.
But if you're in New York, you're in this big city, they've got all the money, they've got Jalen Brunson, like then it's like, okay,
You're happy for him to go with date the ugly girl.
yeah,
I understand.
Now, like I said, at the end of the day, even if it was,
So you want to see him do worse, but better in that worse situation.
Like I wouldn't be like, man, I hate Giannis. I hope you lose everything. I hope you have no success. Like that's just not me. I like Giannis. I just want him to see him do well for my team or in Sacramento. You know what I'm saying?
Mikey, let's be real, Mikey. Let's keep it a buck, man. No matter what Giannis does, you should be forever thankful, right? And forever appreciative for Giannis Antetokounmpo, right? So you should be happy wherever he goes. Because let's be honest, your franchise was a big pack of mid for 40 years until Giannis showed up. So it shouldn't matter if he went to LA, New York,
they were good in there.
San Francisco. It doesn't matter.
They were good in 01. They made the conference finals in 01.
Hey, you know what, Mikey? You know what, Mikey?
You know
what's crazy about that is this fake ass Laker fan think he got the right to talk down to you and tell you how you should feel when y'all made their asses. When Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, when y'all gave him Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and he made that franchise.
Kareem made the franchise. We ain't win a game until we drafted Magic. What you mean made the franchise? What you mean? What you mean?
Mike, you don't got to take this shit from him.
Laker fan. Big Laker fan.
You should hear the way he talks about Magic.
Everywhere. What you talking about?
You should hear the way he talks about Magic.
Okay.
Hey man, listen, it's all fun and games until you win 15 games and you gotta watch them. So I want to see you go. Now I will say this: the Lakers did have some rough stretches, but look. How many legends have you guys been blessed with? Kobe, LeBron,
and we appreciate
Kareem,
all of them.
Magic.
Kareem.
Okay, I'm not saying I'm not going to appreciate Giannis.
I'm still an AD fan right now. I want to see AD do well. I want to see AD thrive. You know what I'm saying?
I get that. I'm not saying like
I'd much rather him be doing it on the Lakers though.
So you ain't celebrate when that trade happened?
What you mean?
The trade that got Anthony Davis off your team. You ain't celebrate?
I don't know. Is there evidence?
I'm not admitting to anything, Mars. Hang on for a second. Do you have me on tape? Unless you have me on tape, I'm not admitting to anything. Yes. No.
Real talk. As your lawyer, you don't have to answer that, brother.
Thank you.
Don't answer that.
I do get it though, Ron. I mean, Giannis has been there for as long as he's been there. He's been a staple. He's the best player to ever play for the Milwaukee Bucks. And
it's so interesting that I hear you say that every single time you say that.
It's Kareem,
it's coming from you.
I know it's crazy to say, yeah, but he's the best player that they've ever had.
You think Giannis
is better than Bucks?
Was better than Giannis when he was in Milwaukee?
He's better than Jabal. Yes, I do.
When he was in Milwaukee.
Yes, he's better than Jabal.
Okay,
yes,
so you have Giannis. I don't think you realize.
So Giannis is better than Bucks Kareem.
Yeah,
but he's not better than Karl Malone.
Here we go.
One more time.
Giannis is better than Bucks Kareem, but he's not better than Karl Malone.
Yeah.
They're gonna be on this for 15 minutes.
How does that work?
No, how does
that not make, first of all, Jabbar played there for 6 years. In the 6 years that Jabbar played there,
he asked who's a better player. That's it. Who's better, Bucks Kareem or Giannis? That's it.
Bucks Kareem or Giannis?
Who's a better player?
Giannis.
Okay.
Yes.
So Giannis is better than Bucks Kareem, but he's not better than Karl Malone.
No.
Isn't Bucks Kareem like some of the best years of his career?
Yes.
You could argue Pete Kareem was in Milwaukee.
Pete Kareem, exactly.
Yes.
Giannis is better than Pete Kareem, is what I'm hearing.
He passed him as the best player that they've ever had.
No, chill. So, okay, I just want to say,
wait.
I want to say how I understand it. I'm not talking about. We're not talking about like best for their team. That's not what me and Mars are saying. We're saying strictly player for player.
Let's clarify this.
Yes.
Let's clarify.
The clips already happens, but
sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Let's clarify this. So Giannis, for as long as he's been there and everything that he's done for the Milwaukee Bucks over the last 12 years, I think he's the best that they've ever had. In terms player for player, from 69 to 76, Giannis is not a better player than
That's
Giannis
what we're
is not a
asking.
better player
Gotcha.
than
Okay.
in Jabbar. Oh, I'm sorry, Lou Alcindor. No, he is not a better. He is not a better player.
Giannis is the best player in franchise history, but he's not a better
But
player.
he's like LeBron is the best player to play for the Heat. D Wade is the
That's
best.
actually what I was about to say. But Mars beat me to the punch. That's exactly what I was about to say.
Okay.
Gotcha.
All right, fellas. Well, we got super chats. So let's go ahead and see what we need to clarify within these super chats that our good viewers, listeners, and followers have sent. The first one that we have is from Teddy Hart. Teddy Hart said, does anyone foresee Naz Reid getting tired of the six-man life? Would love for the Pacers to pursue him in the offseason to be their starting center next season. With Naz plus whoever they draft, hopefully Darren Peterson, maybe the Pacers pull a 97 Spurs.
Ox, why does everybody have to be the lead singer? What's wrong with being a backup singer and getting some songs? What's wrong with that?
But teams,
how come everybody got
Naz Reid as their starting center?
I don't think Naz Reid's having that good of a year. So,
I think he's having a good year. But what's wrong with Naz Reid? Naz Reid is a rotation guy. That's what he is. I think Naz Reid is a rotation.
I don't know.
He is. No, Ron, he is. I agree with you. He's too much of a roller coaster to be like this stamp starter. Now, there are definitely teams he can start on. I'm not going to say like he's not that good, but on quality teams, because there are some things that he lacks defensively. And then again, he's such an up and down offensive player. Like some games when you see Naz Reid, you're like, damn, this might be one of the 25 best players in the world. He's 6'9", handling the ball, hitting spin moves, but then you see him another game, nobody says anything when he goes 2 for 13 and has 6 points. Nobody says anything about those games.
And not even
to be fair, who are we meant to be talking?
Yeah, but I'm saying they happen more often than like people want to accept.
And not even his points, and I don't think it's even his points, but like how lost he gets on defense, how much he fouls, and it's dumb fouls too. So I think Ron, he thrives in that rotation role. I think that he could be a starter on a lower level playoff team, or like if he was in Chicago, like I think he'd be good for them. But like, would he be as good for them? Would he be as good in Chicago as a starter than as a rotation player in Minnesota? I don't think so. No.
The reason why
he did do that. Yes, he did.
The reason why I'm saying I like Naz as a starter is because I would like for him to start right here in Minnesota.
That's why.
And I would love to ship Julius Randle out and get a new starter.
Julius Randle, after his start to the season, he ain't been as
Hey, well, it's some other guys that just have to that are on the trading block already. You know, it's a certain little light skin point guard that he's on his way out. You got to leave no matter what at this point.
Just so you know, Minnesota's a half game out the 3.
Could you imagine you have Rudy Gobert on offense and then Trae Young on defense? You have like the two total opposites.
I don't understand.
Well, Rudy's got better offensively, but still.
I don't get the Julius Randle
that's no hate for Julius. Me saying that's me. No, it's not. That's me saying I would rather have Trae Young than Julius Randle.
Why does Trae Young make y'all better than Julius Randle?
Julius Randle's a better basketball player than Trae Young.
That's okay, and that's your opinion. That's not even what I'm arguing though. This team could use a point guard in Trae Young and a distributor and a guy that is instant offense next to Anthony Edwards, next to Jaden McDaniels, next to Naz Reid, and a dude who could throw oops to Rudy Gobert, and they got the backup center from France too who can jump out the gym. I would much rather have that.
He got minutes yesterday.
I would much rather have that than what I don't want to say much rather have. I just think he's a better fit than Julius Randle, especially when you got Naz Reid that can step in and do most of the things that Julius Randle does. That's the point that I'm making.
Okay, so with that being said, Julius Randle is one of the best driving kick players in the league. We live in a long ball era. We live in a long ball shooting era. He's one of the best driving kick guys. He's one of the better glass eaters at his position in the game, which also helps Minnesota. In addition to him being one of the better rebounders in the game, he's also not that. He's not even close to what Trae Young is as a defender. So with him not being as bad as Trae Young as a defender, he can rebound the basketball. I'm really good on offense. He's one of the better driving kick guys. I can score the basketball, whether I'm on the box or whether I can knock down a long ball. And I create more mismatches in this offense than Trae Young does at 6'9", because I can get switched on. Yes, I get switched on the small guys, and I can take them on the box. I get switched on the bigger guys, and I can drag them out to the deep waters, and I can drown them. Trae Young can't do that. So why, Ron, one more time, for the people in the cheap seats, are you moving off of Julius Randle in this offense for Trae Young? Go.
Because I deploy Mike Conley, who is on his last leg.
Sure.
I deploy a point guard we drafted him high, Rob Dillingham, and he still hasn't shown us that he's capable of being a point guard. Yep. And as of right now, we are playing Bones Highland. We are playing Bones Highland, who was almost out. He was on his way out of the league. We're starting him at point guard, which Bones has been playing pretty good this year. However, once again, I want Trae Young because I have all the other pieces that can not only maximize Trae Young, but Trae Young maximizes them. Can you imagine Trae Young and Ant on a fast break? Can you imagine what Trae Young does with the spacing that they're going to provide him over there? Can you imagine? And first off, and also too, this is the perfect type of team setup for Trae Young's defensive deficiencies. You got Jaden McDaniels. We just did the two-way player thing. You got Anthony Edwards was on a lot of you guys' list. Surprise. You got Anthony Edwards on the other wing. You got the best defender in modern history, Rudy Gobert, under the hoop. This is the perfect team for Trae Young.
The lob passes to Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, I can't
Rudy
say that because they're going to say Rudy's not going to catch
14. Rudy might average a cool 14. I ain't gonna lie.
He would eat.
He might average 14 next to Trae.
If Clint Capella could, Rudy Gobert is definitely going to eat with Trae Young.
Trae Young is just he's just not a better player than Julius Randle at this point. I do think Minnesota needs to address the point guard position. I've been saying the same name since the beginning of the season. You're right. I think you use your resources and get like a Dennis Schroeder, somebody who, number one, fits the identity of that team as a defensive player, right? You can pick up. All they need is somebody at point guard to bring the ball up the court, run a few pick and rolls, and be decent on defense. That's it. They don't need and hit a few spot threes. That's it. They don't need a point guard to do a whole bunch.
They get more star power, but they might not necessarily be a better playoff team.
I personally think it's Shannon. That's the guy that I think it is.
He's been terrible this
year. Yeah, he has. And the reason why, Miles, is I think that they have him in different roles. Like, they don't really know exactly what it is they're doing with him. Like, 1 minute he's playing on the wing, the next minute he's got the ball, and the next minute he's a defender. I don't think they have any idea what they're doing with him. Plus having Dillingham there, who they gave him the ball, and then putting Shannon on the wing, and then taking Shannon off the ball, and then putting him back on the ball. I don't think they know what they're doing with him. I don't.
Well, Rob Dillingham's been one of the worst players in the league when I've seen him out there. Terrence Shannon, it's unfortunate. He's in year 2, but he's 25. So it's like, how much growth am I really expecting? And I struggle because I don't want it to be like every time I see a left-handed player, I say they only use their left. Maybe it's just something you notice more when a player is left-handed.
Very left.
But Terrence Shannon has no right hand, like at all. Like, he doesn't even. You could amputate his right hand and he'll play the exact same. Like, he doesn't use his right. And then
left-handed players,
he doesn't have any sense of pace, so everything is all one speed with him, which works against certain defenses. Like, every time he sees OKC, that one speed thing seems to work because OKC can't slow him down. OKC can't slow him down, but you put him against any other team, the fact that he only has one speed ruins him. So it's like, Terrence Shannon's not that good. Mike Conley, like, we understand. Mike Conley,
he just old. Let's just call it what it is.
He's not LeBron. We'll say that
he's old. Yeah, he's old.
He can't do that. And then Rob Dillingham, and then Bones. I actually think Bones has been
decent.
I wouldn't say a revelation, but Bones has been really good, and I think Bones is keeping his career alive with the way he's been playing, hustling on defense as well. He's not the greatest defender, but high energy, high effort, and then offensively, he's been doing what he can, knocking down threes at a reasonable clip. His handle, his ability to get into the paint is extremely valuable. But they do need a point guard. Do I think that point guard is Trae Young? Maybe. I don't know. It depends.
No, there's too much money. Yeah, there's too much money.
Yeah, it depends what the price is, but they need a point guard.
Ron, you know another name I think they should look into? I said Dennis Schroeder, but if Giannis is gone from Milwaukee, I'm calling about KPJ.
I was just about to say that. Real talk. Pick up the telephone.
Mind a KPJ on Minnesota either.
Yes.
Again, they don't
or
need
Ryan Rollins.
Ryan
would be a good
they're
name
keeping
too.
Ryan. They're keeping Ryan. Yeah,
I'd
Ryan
rather
Rollins.
have Ryan, but I think KPJ's more expensive.
But to me, Ryan isn't an option. Like Milwaukee's not getting rid of him. He's about to be one of their pillars over there for a time coming. But I'm not mad at the KPJ in Minnesota either. They don't need a point guard to do a whole bunch. Not really. They just need somebody that can table set, bring the ball up, run pick and roll, hit some shots.
Fred VanVleet would be the perfect point guard for Minnesota. If there was a Fred VanVleet available, that's who they should go get.
I'm just saying, Cole Anthony's on our bench for you guys. If you,
Cole Anthony started the season well this year.
He did.
He did for like 3 games.
Yeah.
Shout out
to Cole Anthony.
Yeah, that's
all right, fellas.
I want to talk about the KPJ thing first because it is something that Bucks fans have been talking about. Like, do you sell high on him to like if you, especially if you go the route of not trading Giannis right now, do you trade him in a package that can, like, maybe Brooklyn wants, or maybe it is like a 3-team trade, but maybe you have to give up a guy like KPJ to get Michael Porter Jr. or obviously the dream candidate is Trey Murphy or, whatever. Like, you're going to have to give up something, and maybe it is time to sell high on him. And you've got Ryan Rollins, who can be your starting point guard. You've got AJ Green as your starting 3, who can obviously easily move to your starting 2. And you got ways to, like, they're limited, absolutely, but they've got some moves they can do, and that's KPJ is obviously one of those.
And for Minnesota, one of their strengths usually come playoff time is how they're able to kind of overwhelm teams with size and athleticism. I do think they've taken a bit of a step back in that regard with the loss of Nickeil Alexander-Walker, right, and having to play like a Mike Conley a little bit more. DiVincenzo is a decent athlete, right? He's part of that, but I don't think he's like completely that makeup. You bring in a KPJ, and now everybody in your starting 5 is like 6'5" and up or 6'4" and up, and good athletes and can get after you on the perimeter, can get out in transition. You know what I'm saying? I think he fits the makeup of the team. I would really like KPJ in Minnesota.
Yeah, he'd be back teamed up with Jaden McDaniels too. They used to they play Rotary together. They play AAU.
Oh, all right.
They from Seattle up your way.
Yep. But all right, fellas, I got another super chat actually regarding the Timberwolves from Hoops Never Stops. Hoops Never Stops said, Rudy does everything a big should do defensively as a big at a high level, but is crucified for not being elite on the perimeter. Whole time a big not supposed to be elite on the perimeter anyway. Shaking my head.
Actually, yeah, he is supposed to be elite on the perimeter.
Not in the modern NBA. He has to be.
Yeah, in today's game, yeah, you have to be able to go.
I think Rudy has a defensive flaw, if I'm being honest. At this point, I think Rudy can do everything at a high level on defense.
Yeah.
He just looks clunky.
Guard in space, Mars, too? Are you okay with him?
Yeah, I think
he's been doing.
I'm perfectly fine with him in space.
He's been good this year.
I watched him play the Lakers last year, and Luka was hunting him, and respectfully to Luka,
he couldn't get it off.
He wasn't happy.
Luka couldn't get it.
Luka, I understand. I'm not arguing.
No, he couldn't get it off though.
But he weren't doing what he was doing to him in 24. And 24, Luka, that was one of his best series. But generally speaking, I watched him against the Suns with KD and Book.
He was getting stopped.
He was holding up. Like, Rudy Gobert, the garden in space thing, I think has been overblown for a while. Like, back in the day, like 2017, yeah, let's leave Rudy near the rim. But, like, in the 2020s, I've been fine with Rudy Gobert guarding in space. And the numbers bear that out, too. But, like, you can understand, like, there's more to it than just numbers. Like, the numbers would say he does it, like, just as well as Bam. So, obviously, no. But, like, I'm perfectly fine with Rudy Gobert defending in space.
Ox, I was at the game Saturday. He's really good, and I'm glad I was able to. I've seen Rudy Gobert play live before, but he's really good at cutting off angles. Like a boxer who'll shrink the ring. That's how good. That's what Rudy is, where he knows where you're going, and because he's so long and he's able to get to spaces where you're trying to get to before you get there, he's really good at that. I saw him like when when Bam was trying to work that pick and pop action. He's a drop big, but he's dropping in areas where I know you're already going to be, and I'm already shoring up that space, which is blowing those plays up. I think that's the stuff that people don't really see when you're looking at pick and pop and pick and dive defense, and I think Rudy's great at that.
Well, that's what
I've
it's
got that
all,
one
that's what it's all about.
Rudy, and everyone lost their minds. So
Right,
that's
because he spun around. Like,
and it's crazy because Bam went at Rudy like 6 different times. He got him once. That was the one time he got him. That's the highlight everywhere. Meanwhile, the other 5 times Rudy was locking that shit up. But no one shows the 5 times he's locking.
Crazy though.
Obviously, you put that on Bam's highlight, bro. I'm not saying that, but the idea that's like, oh yeah, see, Rudy can't guard in space. Just ignore the other times he's been locking him up.
But that's what Adam Silver's talking about. It's a highlight. It's a highlight league anyway, right?
It is. Yeah,
that's what Adam Silver said. It's a highlight league anyway. So you only want to take those. But sure, that's what defense is all about. It's all about angles, beating somebody to the spots. And when you're as big as Rudy, I have more leeway on the angle I could take. Like, for instance, like if you might have to take like a 30-degree angle to beat somebody. I can take a 45-degree angle because I'm 7 feet tall and I can get my hands up here. You know what I'm saying? So when you're big and you can understand the different angles you could take to actually beat somebody to their spot, it looks different depending on your speed, your agility, your size, and your ability to go back the other way. Like, that's a big thing on defense, is changing direction. If you know some bigs, it's like I could just jab you, just a quick jab, and as soon as that left foot comes up and you start going this way, see ya. You know what I'm saying? If you could get that foot down and jump back this way at a good angle to where you can still contest, then that's great defense. And Rudy Gobert does that to a very high level.
Yeah,
I personally think Rudy's a much better defender than Bam.
Well, speaking of which,
I think he's better than Bam. Yeah, I think he's better.
Since we're here,
much better.
Shout out to Bam.
I'm going to give you guys a list of 10 centers, and I want you guys to tell me which center that you would take Rudy Gobert over. We can kind of get the obvious out the way. I don't think nobody's taking Nikola Jokic over Rudy.
Are we saying as a player?
We're not taking Jokic over Rudy?
We are taking Jokic over Rudy. What?
Well, Jokic right now can't play, so available.
I'm taking broke knee Jokic over Rudy. Yes, absolutely.
All right, man.
All right, that's one. Karl Anthony Towns,
broke knee Embiid too.
Let's not get nasty
over Rudy. Well, the Timberwolves. Which one did the Timberwolves trade?
And pay, by the way, not just trade.
Which one did the Timberwolves trade?
Next.
And pay.
Give me Rudy.
Man, for real. If this is a draft type thing, Ron, and it's like I got the first pick and I see Cat and I see Rudy, I might be forced to take Rudy for real.
Yeah, I'm taking Karl Anthony Towns. I know I'm down.
Yeah,
because I gotta build my team around this. So
chill. Who are you taking?
Rudy. I'm taking Rudy.
We putting our coaching hats on right now, Ron. You got to put our coaching hats on right
now. I know what you're looking at, Ron. I know you're looking at the long ball. I'm
taking Ben Wallace over Cat too. I don't know what to tell you.
I know you're looking at the long ball. I know you're looking at his ability to get downhill and finish at the rim, and his ability to rebound. I get that from Rudy. Affects the game so much more on the defensive end than Cat does all the way around. I'm building my unit around Rudy Gobert. Yes, I am.
Mikey, who would you take?
I think I would take Rudy too. I think he's become one of the most underrated.
Mikey knows ball.
I never expected this. I'm not gonna lie. This is amazing.
I like, it's hard for me because it's like, okay, like let's say you put him next to Giannis, and it's like, okay, what are you gonna do, on offense when both of those guys have to be out in the paint? But I'm trying not to think from that lens, and I do think it is a team building thing. Would I rather watch a team with, like, obviously it's two sides to the ball, but I think it's easier to watch a defense that's anchored by Rudy than it is to watch
an offense.
Yeah, in my opinion, I'm a
Cat was in MVP
defense
talks, by the way, last
year. I value defense.
Rudy's been in DPOY talks for a decade, so
right.
And about to win his fifth.
That's his MVP. Yeah,
that's his win his fifth in 8 years.
Exactly.
You guys realize Karl Anthony Towns is the best shooting big man ever, yeah?
And
no, I don't.
Well, that's because Dirk
how hard that
apparently
is
isn't
to
a
find?
big. Yeah, I don't know. Well,
Yeah.
Dirk isn't a big, I guess. So,
Dirk-
yeah.
No, 3-point shooting. By the numbers, by the
Well,
make.
you said
You know-
shooting.
you-
If it's
you
just
know what
3-point shooting, then yeah, shout out to him. He's better than Kristaps Porzingis. Ooh.
And Damien, I don't need all that shit. Get
This
your
is
big ass off the three. Get your big ass off the long ball line.
Get in the paint.
You guys realize that they could beat the Celtics because they got Karl Anthony Towns, right?
no,
Okay.
that's not why. That's not why they beat
This
the Celtics.
Celtics this year.
No.
That's
No,
not why
when
they beat the Celtics.
No,
No,
it's not.
that's not.
It's not why, but it's one of the reasons why they could match up with the Celtics after they won a
Oh,
title,
got you.
right?
Oh, okay, I got you. I got so.
The reason why they beat the Celtics was because the Celtics went cold at the long ball line. That's what happened.
Reason why
Yeah,
the
but
Timberwolves have been in the
Karl
conference
also
finals the
played
last 2
good
years is Rudy
defense.
Gobert. So you know.
They were hunting Karl Anthony Towns and pick and roll to get a switch and isolate on him, and he was holding up against Tatum, against Brown. Just doing that. And the-
Yeah, and then we
You
watched him on
look- you
defense, and then we
look
watched him on
like
defense
that.
against the
You
Pacers,
look-
right? We watched him on defense against the Pacers.
Can't go
Okay,
against
what would
us, right?
Rudy look like on defense against the Pacers?
Rudy
When
gonna
they're
look amazing.
running 5 out.
Rudy gonna look amazing.
We've already-
No, right, facts. Absolutely.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
What did he look like on defense last year against the Lakers with James on the wing and Luka on the wing and
Yeah.
Austin Reeves on the wing? What did he look like?
Hey,
I'm
Chip, you know
sorry?
what the Pacers have like quickness and speed, things we don't. So that's
The
the
Lakers
difference.
refuse to play a 7-footer. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. The next name I got for you guys is Zubac. Rudy Gobert. Zubac.
This year's Rudy, give me Rudy. No hesitation. Give me Rudy.
Zubac has been struggling, but if we're going off, if I'm going to say last year Zubac, I'm taking last year and Zubac viable
Over this year,
on both
Rudy?
ends of the court. Yeah, he was viable on both ends of the court last year. This
You
year,
don't think Rudy's been viable on offense this year?
This, you know what? Hey, I saw Rudy
Look,
with a behind the back bounce pass to the corner.
Yeah, that was
I saw
cold,
your
yeah.
tweet, Mark. I was like, you know what? Shout out to Rudy.
In
man.
that
He's
same
all
game,
over
he drove
this
by
year.
Alex Sarr from the perimeter and dunked it with his left hand.
Yeah, he's been.
I'm
he's
just
been
saying, give Rudy some offensive flowers. He's
He been
shooting
kinda
62%
cool.
on layups.
He been
Last year was
kinda cool.
49%. Rudy is improving.
Ron, do
He
you
was
like
kinda cool.
Rudy Gobert is in a room? Rudy Gobert is in a room with no cameras around. Like, yo, I'm nicer than him on offense. Do you fight that, Ron?
Rudy's been.
No.
I'd say Rudy's been viable on offense this year.
No, Rudy know better. Even Rudy knows.
Rudy is like,
Wait,
yo,
so
I'm
you
nicer
guys
than him.
don't think Rudy's
Give
been
me the
viable
pill.
on offense this year? Like, I'm not saying he's elite.
This
Going
season,
on,
yes.
Damien. That's why
This season,
I think he's
been
always been
Exactly.
viable,
This
man.
year,
He's
Rudy-
always been
Mars,
viable.
I think.
Yeah,
Thank you,
always
Jamie.
is
That's what I
a
was
major
gonna say.
stretch.
I
But
think he's been viable way
Yeah,
more
like,
than just
All
this
Star years and
season.
all that.
Man, Rudy Gobert used to come out when teams went small because he couldn't punish a mismatch.
Yeah,
that's not viability.
exactly. It wasn't because of his defense.
That's not viable because you could catch some lobs.
No, but
on
in
the
terms
key.
of pressure at the
It's
rim,
not
not,
he's
viable.
always had that.
I don't think. See, Mars. That's the thing. I don't think the cause. It's the same causation. I think that's just coach overthinking. Instead of it like, oh, Rudy can't punish him. I think coach is just kind of like, oh, we're gonna take Rudy out. You know what I mean? Instead of going,
they would
to
keep
The vertical
Rudy
spacing
in.
is
wouldn't
better.
See to watch him not punish them and then take him. Like, we don't need to rewrite. I like Rudy Gobert. We don't need to rewrite what's happening. Teams would go small. They would keep Rudy in. He would proceed to not punish the mismatches. They would take him
And
out.
what
That was
do you mean
the
by not
sequence
punish?
of
What does
events.
that look like? What does that
Well,
look
you
like?
already
Either
can't give him
on the
ball.
on the offensive glass, he would become anonymous, so he's not giving you
Exactly.
offensive rebounding. On the pick and roll, anytime he catches the ball, we know it's a circus. And even times they would dump it into him on the post to see if he could punish a mismatch. It's going to be travels, losing the ball.
Actually,
It's
right.
going to be nonsense. It's
do
going to be
remember
shenanigans.
specifically.
I've seen
That's
it- I've
what
seen it happen
that's what
before.
used to happen. That's what used to happen, and they would take him out. It's not
I've
like
seen-
oh
I've-
they
I've
go small,
definitely
Rudy
seen
come
that.
out instantly.
I do remember this. Actually,
I've
vividly.
definitely seen some of that before. I've seen some of that.
It's
Definitely.
gonna be some bullshit.
Yeah,
I like Rudy a lot, but we don't need to change how good he
These
was
players
offensively.
gotta get
Offense is
better.
a problem.
That's what's got to happen. Rudy, to his credit, has gotten better. He has gotten better, but we're not going to sit here and act like we don't remember some of them Rudy Gobert possessions because I do vividly.
Even this
It's
year,
just that not- it's just-
this year, he's had
it's
his
just that
Rudy Gobert
Rudy's-
moments. But
It's just that Rudy's
but
possessions
let's not
get
act like he's there
amplified.
some-
His
well, big
possessions get amplified in comparison
Yeah,
to other
he's just
people's bad
viable now,
possessions.
which is
That's
nice.
all it is.
I saw
yeah, for
Rudy
sure. Yeah, for
Gobert
sure.
miss a dunk. Okay, brother.
I've seen plenty of people miss
really
dunks.
can't put ball
Rudy
in the
Gobert is the only player I've seen airball multiple dunks. I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, my thing
so
is an
nasty.
air ball and the miss is the same thing. You know what I mean? I've seen plenty of people miss
I respect
dunks.
your mindset, but Rudy Gobert is one of the few people I've seen airball multiple dunks.
Yo, so everybody up here is taking Rudy over Zubac.
No, everybody.
I'm taking this year Rudy over this year's Zoo. That's what I'm doing. I'm taking this year's Rudy over this year's Zoo.
Zoo bounce back. Give me Zoo.
Yeah, I got Zoo too.
Same.
I got, for all the names I mentioned, I got Zubac. I got Jokic, obviously. I got Cat.
I'm with you.
All I'm hearing is defense
with
matters
you.
until it matters.
I'm with you as
That's
well.
what I'm hearing.
Shut up.
Once again, defense matters until it matters.
The next name I got for you guys is Jared Allen.
Oh, give me
Give me
Rudy.
Rudy.
Yeah, give me Rudy.
And I like Jared a lot.
Yeah, give me Rudy.
Ron, you'll probably
Brooklyn
take
Jared?
Isaiah Hartenstein over Rudy.
I'm taking Rudy over Evan Mobley too. So I mean, shit, I don't know what to tell you.
Really?
Yes,
So,
I'm
you don't even have to ask
I'm
about
a
it.
Mobley guy.
There.
You know that, Ron. I'm a
Hell
Mobley guy.
no.
I'm taking Rudy over him. I am.
Rudy has
Really?
been better than Evan. Rudy has been better than Evan Mobley this year. Rudy has been
taking
better
him
than
over.
Evan.
Probably so, but I'm still taking Evan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But when I say I'm taking, that's the only. I'm saying this year.
And we're
Rudy's
talking
been
about
better
this
than
year.
X player.
This
That's
year,
right
all
now,
I'm
Mark.
saying.
I'm building my.
Yeah, that's all.
unit
That,
on
so
Mobley.
just to clarify, when I say I'm taking Rudy over X player, all I'm saying is Rudy's been better than this player this year. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
So Rudy's been better than Evan Mobley this year. Is what I'm saying.
He has.
Jalen Duren. And this shouldn't even be a conversation.
Jalen.
Oh, I agree. It shouldn't be a conversation. Give me Rudy.
Yo.
No, I'm taking Jalen Duren over Rudy this year. Yeah, I am. This season.
Damian Ox.
This isn't a conversation.
Defense matters until it matters. It's cool.
Jalen Duren
All right,
has been
Ox pleading the
defending
fifth.
this
Okay.
year. What are you talking about?
No, Jalen Duren's improved massively on defense.
Yes, he has.
Rudy's been the second best
Man,
defender in the league.
I'm just really high on Rudy Gobert, bro. Like
I am too.
been. I'm just really high on Rudy.
There's no way y'all think Rudy Gobert is better than Jalen Duren. But
So I just
All right,
want to understand. So since when is just being a top 5 defender in the league just?
All right, depends on
How
It
many
depends
points
on
per
what
game does
else.
Rudy need to average to be
It's
better
not
than
about
Jalen Duren?
points per game. It's not about
That's
points per game.
very clear because it's
No,
always going to be
no,
because
just-
Jalen Duren's better on offense. That's what it's going to be.
Yes, but there's
So
always
if Rudy Gobert averaged
there's
22,
always
is he better than
context
Jalen Duren?
because it's not about the points per game. We watch them play, right? So yeah, even myself, I have a value of defense. I definitely value it, right? That's a principle in theory, yes. But then when it comes to practicality, and we actually know these players' strengths and weaknesses, and we get to see them actually on the court, yeah, give me Jalen. Absolutely.
So
I'm watching Rudy Gobert on the court this year impact the game to a degree that not many people in the league period are matching. I'm watching,
which is fair.
I'm watching
cast
his
helping
team
him defensively?
replicate OKC level defense when he's on the court. Like,
Yep.
why is that not valid to say, oh look, that guy might be better than Jalen Duren?
It is.
What about Jalen Duren's defense?
He's
I
not close to Rudy Gobert.
I think
Jalen Duren has become a nice defensive big. From where he was, that's a major improvement.
But I think what we
Rudy
doing,
Gobert is outside of Wemby, and you could make the argument. I wouldn't agree. You could make the argument, including Wemby. Rudy's been the best defender in the league this year. I'm gonna say I got Wemby 1, Rudy 2, but that's the level of defense Rudy's providing. Everyone seems to agree Wemby's playing all-time level defense. So if Rudy's the second best defender in the league, Wemby, yes.
Oh, I thought you said Gobert was playing all time.
Yeah, but no, Wemby. People are saying Wemby's playing all-time level defense, and if Rudy's playing defense to a level that people would deem comparable. Now, me personally, I got Wemby, but I can make the argument for Rudy. I think that's a very clear argument made for Rudy. That means Rudy's still defending at a level that is obviously better than Jalen Duren.
Sure.
Not even to the point where it's like, oh yeah, Jalen Duren, a good defender. Rudy's one of the best in the league. No, it's like that's a gargantuan gap in terms of the impact on the court on defense, the level of floor raising on defense. This Minnesota defense falls off a cliff without Rudy Gobert. Right. The same personnel you alluded to, Jaden McDaniels, Anthony Edwards, all of these guys, the defense falls off a cliff when Rudy's not on the court. Now, I would say that's because Naz Reid is the backup center. So
exactly.
I understand. Yeah, so I understand. I'm not saying on-off numbers are everything. But what I am saying is there's a reason when Rudy Gobert is on the court, the Minnesota Timberwolves have one of the best defenses in the NBA that rivals Oklahoma City.
I think
there's a reason for that.
if I'm not mistaken, Miles, I think they got a 121 defensive rating when he's off the floor, and then they got a
123 actually.
123.
How about the offensive stuff though?
And they got like a 106 defensive
Their
rating.
offense is 117 and a half.
106. But here's the thing, though, Ron. I think
Which is
that
slightly
the
above
offense
average.
between him and Duran.
Duran's clearly a better offensive player, but Duran's not even like Duran's not an all-star caliber offensive player to me. Like strictly offensively, he's not an all-star caliber offensive player.
But I think
he's
what
not an all-star caliber player, but he's definitely a major plus. And I will say this.
But he's going to be an all-star because of his two-way stuff, offense and defense. Offensively alone, Jalen Duran is not. Jalen Duran is not an offense like Trae Young's a better offensive player than Jalen Duran.
Because what the case they're trying to make for Jalen Duran is the wrong one. I'm not trying to make the case for Jalen Duran being in the same categgory for him defensively. And the reason why I'm not making that case because it's not a case. But I think that case. I here's the thing because you guys bring up defense. I think that the difference is with what Jalen Duran does on both the offensive and defensive end, his ability to rebound, get the ball off the glass, be a secondary ball handler, keep pressure on defenses as an offensive player, not just a bucket getter, but also a screener, unlike Rudy. And in addition to that, be able to stop plays, rebound the basketball, be able to rim protect. Not to the extent of Rudy, but be able to rim protect, be able to guard on the rim. Not to the extent of Rudy, but be able to guard. That's not a huge drop in terms of him overall as a player. There's a reason why they are number one in the Eastern Conference overall, and that has a lot to do with what Jalen Duran does as an overall player.
And he's 18 and 10 show as well, yeah.
I can appreciate what Rudy has done.
Being one of the best offensive
Miles, I can definitely appreciate your logic with what Rudy Gobert has done as a defensive player. I think that if you take him off the crew, I think that they go the other way completely. But with Jalen Duran out, I think that you have something completely different. They gotta switch up everything that they have to switch up everything that they've been doing. I'm taking Jalen Duran over Rudy Gobert this season.
And also, Mars, I think we could. I don't think that Jalen Duran is in as good of a situation when it comes to optimizing him as an offensive player. So I think the Cade and Duran pick and roll, in my opinion, could be even more effective if there was good spacing around them as a duo. But obviously with Asar Thompson being on the court regularly and these players like that, exactly. So I think him as a pick and roll player could be even more amplified, right? But I do think that's where a lot of his value can come from as an offensive player, obviously as a lob threat, but him in the short roll is really good. He's a really good passer. He now can make that mid-range jump shot at a really good clip as well. And then, him being a better passer, playmaker, scorer, and then him improving defensively, I think definitely can get him in an argument with Rudy Gobert. Now, I'm not mad at you if you do say Rudy Gobert because he is defending at a DPOY caliber this season. So shout out to Rudy. But as a better basketball player, I'm still kind of taking Jalen Duran.
Yeah, I only said it's not close because Ron said it's not close in favor of Jalen Duran. I'm fine having a conversation as we're having, but I've got Rudy. But yeah, I think
I'm not thinking twice. These two guys are on the table. Come on, Rudy, go home.
That's cool.
Mikey, who you got though?
I think it's fairly close. I would take Duran, but obviously it's a matter of what do you value more? Do you value of being at that defensive player of the year type level, or do you value someone who can shoot 70+% at the rim, who can run that action with Cade pretty well? And I think you also have to look. I don't know. It's hard because it's like, you're also comparing two seasons. Like, obviously Jalen Duran's young, so then I think, okay, how long can you get out of him? But if we're talking about just seasons, like this season to this season, I think Duran takes it, but I wouldn't be mad if you said Gobert. Like I said, he's super underrated, and I think it depends on what you value more. Do you value like running that defense, or what do you value here?
All right, I got an interesting name next. Rudy Gobert or Sengun?
That is very much like that one is more what do I need on my team than any other name to me that said so far because they're so different as players. Sengun is pretty much like an offensive engine type player. I think he's regressed defensively this year than where he was last year. Last year, Sengun was a positive defender, in my opinion. Yeah, that depends.
Let's not overthink this.
It's Sengun, you saying, Damien?
Sengun's 22-9-6, man.
I never thought Damien would PRA me.
But like it's like some of these. Sometimes I think some of these sometimes we're trying to talk our way into things, or like we're trying to like I love Rudy Gobert. Like I'm a big fan of him. I think he's one of the greatest defenders ever. But I think we're probably overdoing it with him at this stage.
Is
like
Alfred
he's played elite
Sengun
level
better
defense.
than Ben Wallace?
He's a better basketball player.
Yeah, he's a better basketball player. Sure.
Is Alfred Sengun better than peak Draymond Green?
Nope. But Dre wasn't just giving you defense.
I'm trying to gauge. I'm trying to see how far along the spectrum we can go. Because Ben Wallace is the epitome of all defense, negative offense. Rudy Gobert is slightly better on offense, probably slightly worse on defense. And then Draymond's is better on offense than both of them. And then however you feel about the defense. I'm trying to go along the spectrum and see where we land. Is Alperen Sengun better than peak Joakim Noah?
Yeah, he's a better basketball player.
Yeah, I got Sengun.
Yeah.
Joakim Noah came fourth.
I'm to realize, like, there is a thing of being a more impactful player, but not being a better player. I'm sorry. Like, to me, those two things aren't always congruent. It's just not.
Peak, I don't know.
Nice words.
Yeah, I know.
Peak, I don't know, actually, Mars. That's an interesting
I've always said that. Adrian Dantley was better than Mark Aguirre. Mark Aguirre was more impactful than Adrian Dantley on the Bad Boys. I think
Joakim Noah is better than Sengun, but that's fine. But I agree. I think impact is team dependent. It depends on the roster around you, who can. So like it's not just inherent impacts. Like there are like Steph's shooting is going to have an inherent impact everywhere he goes, but the variance of how impactful it's going to be dependent on scheme, personnel, all of that stuff. So like impact is still going to be team dependent, whereas your basketball ability is your basketball ability regardless of team situation. My opinion is regardless of team situation, Rudy Gobert gives you the floor is one of the best defenses in the NBA.
Yeah.
Well, he's
Alperen Sengun is a lot more situation dependent than Rudy Gobert, in my opinion. You need to give Alperen Sengun the ball. You need to run the offense through him. He's not going to be able to play without the ball as well, because his actual ability to play as a pick and roller, a lob threat, his actual finishing play types, the stuff that's meant to be easy for bigs, the DeAndre Jordan stuff, he's bad at those things. So you actually have to build the whole thing around Sengun in order to maximize the value he's giving you. And then I would argue building a whole offense around Sengun, is that really in your best interest if you're trying to build a unit that's going to get to a high level versus building a defense around Rudy Gobert? I can guarantee you is in your best interest if you're trying to be successful. So even with like the impact argument, yeah, impact is situation dependent. I would argue that Rudy's more impactful in more situations. And wouldn't that just make you the better player if in more situations you're able to help your team win more?
But why does Rudy automatically? I'm curious as to why an elite player at something automatically makes a team elite at that thing. Like, having Rudy as your starting, like we also can't say by just having Rudy we're going to be an elite defense. By just having Jokic we're going to be an elite offense, because we've seen those things not happen when we have certain guys like that too.
When has Rudy Gobert not been on an elite defense?
No, the defense has not been elite sometimes.
Yeah, when has Rudy Gobert? No, but I'm genuinely asking, what year of Rudy Gobert's career, since he's been a good player, what year of Rudy Gobert's career has his team not been a good defense when he's on the court?
Well, no, that's not true. There has been periods in the playoffs where the Timberwolves have not been good on defense with Rudy Gobert on the floor too. And I'm trying to think of the year. It might have been his first.
I actually looked at this earlier because I had a feeling this was going to come up. Rudy Gobert, since he joined the Timberwolves, Rudy Gobert, since he joined the Timberwolves in the playoffs, the Timberwolves have a +6 net rating with him on the court and a -8 with him off the court. They have a 111 defense with him on the court, and they have a 117 defense with him off the court. That's just not true.
They're going to be a better defense with Rudy. But I'm saying that
They're a better
having a player
team
that's
with Rudy.
elite, having a player that's elite at something doesn't automatically make that team elite at said thing.
Which is a fact. Just because you got,
I agree. I agree. I would just
on that.
I agree. It doesn't
Marcus
inherently
Ryan-
mean you have
Yeah.
X player, you're going to be elite on that side of the ball. In
Specific
Rudy
to
Gobert's
Rudy,
career,
yeah.
every team
So when
he's
we
been
say-
on, the
so when we
defense has been
say-
elite when he's on the court. Every single team.
So when we say that having Rudy over Sengun means that we're automatically going to have a great defense, but we're not necessarily going to have a great offense because Sengun's not the type of sort of offensive engine Jokic is, for example, that necessarily isn't true either. Because if you get the right personnel around Sengun, they can have an elite offense.
Sure. You
Yeah,
can
they
do
can.
that. But here's
The
the
point about
difference.
portability is about how many situations can it be true. With Rudy Gobert, we've seen it throughout his career. We've seen it play out. Rudy Gobert on the court equals elite defense regardless of personnel. The Jazz in 2021 had abhorrent personnel. They were the best defense in the league. They had 100 defensive rating with Rudy Gobert on the court. 100. 100 in the 2020s. That shows Rudy Gobert had terrible personnel. We then watched the 2024 Timberwolves with some of the best personnel. I remember what the conversations were in 24. People were asking if that's the best defense since the 08 Celtics. That personnel, once again, historic defense of Rudy Gobert on the court. So you see him on two complete different ends of the spectrum. Terrible personnel, elite defense. Great personnel, elite defense. And what we've also seen is when he has decent personnel, elite defense. Everywhere Rudy Gobert has gone, every set of teammates Rudy Gobert has had, the defense has been elite with him on the court. So I think it's fair to say that Rudy Gobert has shown throughout his 10, 12-year career that Rudy Gobert leads to elite defense regardless of personnel. Alperen Sengun, based on his skill set and also based on some of the results we've seen, you're not going to manufacture elite offense regardless of personnel with Alperen Sengun. That doesn't mean you can't have an elite offense with Sengun. Once again, the Rockets right now are built around Sengun and KD's skill set, and they're a top 3 offense. I'm not saying you can't have an elite offense with Sengun, but what I am saying is the offense around Sengun being elite is more dependent on personnel than Rudy Gobert's defense is being elite, and I think that's quite obvious.
And with Sengun, I think it's also. I mean, he's obviously getting better as well, right? So he's not. Absolutely. He hasn't reached his apex, and also, I think it begs a broader question, a more macro question on: would you rather the opportunity to have an elite defense or the opportunity to have a very good offense in the modern NBA? I think it's a reasonable question because I think today's game is far more skewed to having a very elite offense, which is why, real talk, the Lakers can have the 4th best record in the league, but have a terrible defense.
Yeah, but Damian, because Damian, I hear you on that, but I'm still saying I'm taking the elite defense as far as which one would I choose, even in this era of basketball, because when you bring it back to playoffs, which you wanted to bring up when we were talking about Rudy Gobert, you need to be able to get stops like that. You need to be able to have personnel 100%. To get 100%. Stops. And so, yes, the Lakers have this elite offense. Absolutely. But there's a reason we're even seeing it in the regular season before we get to the playoffs. And this is why I keep saying we're fool's gold, because every time this elite offense goes up against comp, we get smacked. So I'm not expecting this. If we have this same defensive personnel with this elite offense that we have, I'm expecting us to lose because we're such a horrible defense. You know what I'm saying? Whereas you have a team like let's say even the Rockets from last year. I don't know where they ranked all offensive rating. I think it was like 12.
Middle of the pack, yeah. They were like,
but that's because of like their offensive rebounding. But we know them as a group. They were horrid offensively. A horrid bunch, but they were still able to be in damn near every single game against the Warriors and take it 7 just off them being an elite defense. So we saw the OKC to me had plenty of spells where their offense was trash.
I think it's very situational. Like I think it's very situational. We knew the Rockets couldn't win. I think it's very situational. We knew the Rockets couldn't win, and they're a bit of a gimmick in the regular season because they didn't have offense. I think that's one of the most. I think that's one of the most important things. Like they were pretenders last year.
They couldn't win a championship.
Second in the West last year.
We knew they weren't going to win a championship. Yeah, for sure.
But with that being said, though, Damian, and I think you make a valid point about the offense. But to Real Talk's point,
you also knew the Kings in 23 weren't winning the championship, and they were the best offense in the league. So does it go both ways, right?
100%.
And they were a top 3 seed. And they also lost to the Warriors.
I think we are overthinking this so much.
No, we're not
Damian
overthinking
said
it.
10 minutes.
I think this is a very valid conversation to have about the value of defense.
Oh no, it's a valid.
And to real talk to your point, because
Ron, you're in the matrix, by the way.
To real talk's point, in the end, it's really lipstick on a pig. What I mean is that it looks great on the surface, but when the curtain gets lifted up on it, it's like, wow, I didn't realize you guys were this bad defensively. I didn't realize that. I mean, the Lakers had a coach who decided that I'm only going to play these 5 guys for the rest of the game. Like, he ain't play these dudes for like a couple of minutes and then called no for the rest of the game. And I'm going to try to outscore you guys. This is how bad we are as a defense. And the Minnesota Timberwolves capitalized on that with a big guy who had them as good as they were defensively, just basically destroyed them. I think that when you have a bad defense, I think that when you have a bad defense, the curtain can get lifted up on you so quickly as opposed to your offense, because your defense can turn into offense. Your offense can't turn. Your offense is going to turn into defense, but it's going to turn into offense for somebody else because they're going to end up.
I'm with you guys, by the way. I'm actually with you guys, by the way, with all your points. I just think player for player right now in this moment, I'd probably just take Sengun.
Oh no, I also think Sengun is better.
Yeah, but I'm with you guys on the points, and I'm with you.
Answering the question of like, yeah, I was answering the question more so of like, in this era, which one would you choose, elite offense or elite defense? And I'm saying I'm still choosing the elite defense, even now. Because again, we saw like even when Minnesota, let's bring up when Minnesota played Denver in 24, when Minnesota beat Denver, right? Even in that game 7, Ant goes 8 for 24 from the field and whatnot, or even that series getting to 7 games. People had questions about Minnesota as an offensive unit. Plenty of questions going into the playoffs about them as an offense. They were able to stay in these games and ultimately win the series because of how good they were defensively. I'm saying so.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
So
no, I think that's very important.
Ron,
reboot your computer or something.
Yeah, Ron as the host. But where are we? Where are we with the 5 men? So, Bam, yes or no?
I think Rudy's been better than Bam this year.
This year for sure, Rudy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's been better than Bam. We already said Sengun. Alex Sarr. I'm thinking about 5 men. That's what I'm thinking about.
Rudy's been better than Alex Sarr. I think Chet's a good question. I got Chet, by the way, but I think Chet's a good question.
Chet.
Yeah, I got Chet.
Yeah.
Is the separator on offense? Because I think Rudy plays really. I think Rudy plays really well against Chet. Really well. I don't know what it is about Chet.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He always plays well against Chet, and that Oklahoma City defense. That Oklahoma City offense, I think he does one of his best jobs against them. Him specifically. He gets Chet to get off the basketball. He puts Chet in really precarious situations, particularly in the mid-range where Chet is picking up his dribble. So I think he does a good job against Chet. I don't think it's a wash between those two. No, I don't. I can get with Chet
as well.
I don't think Chet's clearing him, but I do have Chet. Chet's playing. His defense has picked up recently. In my opinion, he's playing top 5.
I think I bet has been better than him though defensively, still Mars. But
yeah, I agree. That's why Rudy is my DPOY favorite right now. But Chet playing top 5-ish level defense, and then offensively, just the versatility, the shot making, the driving ability. Like it leans me towards Chet. I did some research while we were talking, looking at like the worst defenses to win a championship in NBA history and the worst offenses. Yeah. Statistically, the worst offense to win a championship in recent times, I believe, is the 21 Bucks. And the worst defense to win a championship in the playoffs is the 2000 Lakers. The Bucks offense was worse statistically than the Lakers defense was. And then if you go further down, you got the 04 Pistons. They were the next worst.
I was going to say
to win
that.
the championship.
Yeah.
But for the most part, they're actually quite even statistically. Like the worst offenses are actually quite similar to the worst defenses to win championships. So I was just not saying that proves or disproves anything, but I was just looking up statistics.
Has Rudy been better than DeAndre Ayton this year?
Yes.
Okay. All right. DeAndre Ayton.
I don't think DeAndre Ayton's ever been better than Rudy Gobert.
Joe, you're pretty high on DeAndre Ayton, huh?
I just think that he is one of those players where Like it's there. You just need the right people to get it out of him. Like last night, I'm watching him of the.
He's been good.
I think he had 18, like either 18 or 20, something like that last night.
He was terrible in the first half.
Yes, he was. But you know what I got, Miles, in the second half? I got a big man running. I think he got 6 points just running. 6 points just running the floor last night. Just rim running. And I thought that was big. Then I get him and Luka playing that pick and pop game. It works. And then I also get him around the rim, asking for the basketball, where Luka just drops it on the floor, and I get a jump hook in the middle of the lane. He was doing big man things last night. You know how I feel about big guys doing big man things. And he's always been one of those bigs that if you keep him involved in the game, he will do the other things. He will rebound. He will rim protect. He will run if you keep him involved in the game. But if you don't keep him involved in the game, you will lose him. And you will lose him like that, and you won't get him back. That's who he is.
What's interesting is like Marcus Smart gives him a lot of touches, like intentionally, I've noticed, especially in the half-court stuff. But you're right. You have to keep him involved, otherwise he checks out. And that's why sometimes Jackson Hayes finishes games, because he just checks out too early.
Yeah, you'll lose him. You'll 100%. James actually tries to do it. James does his best to keep him involved in the game. James does the best that he can to keep him involved in the game. But with that being said, I think that Ayton, he might not. I don't think he's enough for what the Lakers are trying to do. But I think he's been playing good this year.
He's on a small contract. So I don't know what people really expect. I think he's playing worth his contract. Like he's worth the money they invested in.
I think we've gotten like what the best actually of what you could have expected from DeAndre Ayton. Like DeAndre Ayton, you were hoping that he could be a really good offensive player because some of his statistics say that he's a good offensive player. He's been that, right? The stats also show that he's not a great defensive player by no means. And I think he's even been a little bit better defensively than advertised. Not saying that he's been good defensively. He just hasn't been the god-awful defender, in my opinion, when I watch him, that like he has been in some recent years. So I just think this is the best DeAndre Ayton we could have gotten. He's still very much so mid.
As a long-term solution,
maybe the softest big in the league. But
has Rudy been better than Jaren Jackson this season?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Has he been better than Anthony Davis this season? I'm going to take that as a yes. Okay. Has he been better than Donovan Clingan?
No.
I ain't saying anything.
Hey, they've been hurt.
No.
Well, we're going to use the hurt.
I ain't saying anything.
He been hurt.
Mm-hmm. Has he been better than Clingan this season?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sabonis has actually been out of the lineup. I think he's of the guys that we've mentioned. I think he's been better than Vooch. I think he's been better than anybody on Atlanta. I think he's been better than Miles Turner. You know how I feel about Kalkbrenner, but I think he's been better than Kalkbrenner. I think he's been better than Claxton. Sarr has actually been really good, but I think Rudy's been better than him. And
has he been better than Porzingis when Porzingis played?
When he plays.
Yeah, so Porzingis in the limited games he's played, because he's only played like 15. Has he been
better
than
Porzingis played? Porzingis be hooping.
That's what I'm saying. Has he been better than Porzingis?
Nah, I think Porzingis. I don't know. I'm very, very, very high on Kristaps Porzingis. Like I think
likewise,
he is the damn near the epitome of what you want at the center position in 2026 basketball. Vertical spacer. Can also space from the three-point line, not only just the top of the key, though, but the entire three-point line. And he can defend the rim at a high clip as well.
And he can actually score on mismatches when you
and he scores on mismatches.
He just can't. He's got a condition, I guess.
Yeah.
I'll stay. I guess.
But I would say Porzingis has maybe been better than.
Yes, we do.
Okay, go ahead.
King Sean Black says, settle a debate for me. Who's better, Kevin Durant or John Havlicek?
It's real simple, Mars. Let's not make this an extracurricular activity. It's Kevin Durant. And I can appreciate what these dudes are about to say. You got eight championships, 8-0 in NBA Finals, 8-time All-League defender, and it's Kevin Durant is a better player than Havlicek.
Sounds good to me. Andrew C says, Renaud, the only bright spot on the Kings currently. I do like Maxime Renaud, definitely.
That's the big.
Yeah,
I
kid out of Stanford.
Yeah, he's cool. Earlier in the show, we talked about how scoring is the most valuable thing that you can do. And it was actually, disappointing when I'm watching Anthony Davis. It's big fourth quarter time. It's a tight game. He subs back in about the 7-minute mark in the fourth. And like 3 straight possessions, they go to AD for these like mid-post touches and whatnot. And he just can't get a bucket. I'm like, AD, hey, it's time to be big time. Fourth quarter, tight game. You get in the game, you be elite. I've seen him do it.
It was actually Flag making the plays.
Yeah, they got Najee Marshall now too. Shout out to Demon Najee.
Najee was full swing last night.
I love Najee Marshall, man. I love Najee Marshall.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Clay shooting 37% from the field this year. Damn.
Yeah.
Seneg 561. Being a defensive floor raiser is one of the most valuable things ever to me. If I was building a team, he'd be a top pick for me.
I just feel like we don't need an objective answer because like these things do fluctuate, but I do think we need to get close to attributing how much does defense matter when we're comparing players. Because I feel like it's very pick and choosy. And I'm not saying you guys have to think Rudy Gobert is better than all these guys. I'm not saying I think Rudy Gobert is better. But I feel like it's like if you're a good offensive player and you play defense, that's automatically you're going to get boosted over people. But if you're not a very good offensive player and you're an amazing defensive player, that means something sometimes, but only when I really choose to make it mean something. I feel like we need to.
I think we've lost the value of defense generally, Mars. Like I think it's just devalued to the point where like you're right. Like we go too far with it when it's so valuable still.
But I think we know, well, at least for some time now, the concept has been defense is very valuable when it comes to team versus team evaluation. But everybody has, as a basketball community, it does seem like we've come to the conclusion that for individual offense is more valuable than defense, right? But for me, a player like Rudy Gobert, this is why I say, like, yeah, in theory, these things are it's either black and white, but of course, there's so much nuance and gray area in these conversations. Because Mars, like, if Rudy Gobert was this defensively and was a legitimate lob threat, had very good hands, and could pass out of the short roll, I do think now you bottle that up with that on defense, he can start usurping some of these better offensive players. But it's the fact that Rudy, for a lot of his career, was, yes, that great defensively. I also put Ben Wallace in this category. Yes, that great defensively, but he was also that bad offensively. And so there's a balance that they're kind of not.
That's why you're so high on. That's why you're so high on Ant, right? Like that's why you're so excited about Ant, because you can see him get a bucket, but then also lock up.
Yeah,
he does both. Yeah, I mean, real talk. Like you were saying a moment ago, you were talking about the Lakers and why you would choose to have a better defense because you have to get stops. I value defense so much because I think like it's harder to find. Everybody can more often than not. More often than not. So everybody, when I say everybody, don't take it as a literal everybody.
No, I get what you're saying.
But pretty much everybody
understand what you're saying, Alex, when you say it.
Pretty much everybody can score the basketball. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, we can all put the ball in the bucket. Who's gonna stop these guys from putting the ball in the bucket? A lot of people don't want to do that. Mind you, I talk about this all the time. When we go, for instance, if we were to be a fly on the wall and go to 100 training facilities where they're doing individual workouts during the summertime, I'm talking about junior high school, college, pros. If you go to a training facility, 100 of them, I guarantee you, in 97 of them are only working on offensive skills. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think it's harder to find a Rudy than it is a Luka?
When Luka's so good on offense, I think you know what I'm saying.
Wait, say Rudy's so good on defense. He said
right. Okay. Yes. So yes. I do. If to answer that question, then yes. I mean, I think it's harder to find an elite defender than it is to find an elite offensive player. I think elite offense is coming by the dozen. It's no matter what, you're gonna find elite offensive players in every draft, all the time. Elite defenders I don't think they come around as much because also I just don't think people value wanting to be good at defense. You know what I'm saying? It's not as sexy as it used to be. You know
We're
what I mean?
seeing more of them come through now.
But the reason, Mars, I think we're seeing more come through now is because it went so far down. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and I mean, I came around to that. I think there's quite a bit of good defenders in the NBA today. I do, but I think like,
are we talking about
much?
Are we talking about there's more guys with the ability to be like Cam Thomas than there is with the ability to be like Shea? Because I think there's two different type of scorers. Like if you think about the best players on every team, so we take 30 teams, let's say everyone has their best bucket getter. That's only 30 players in the world. Whereas can you find more guys that bring a similar impact to Rudy Gobert does as role players?
Maybe so. And I want to be clear about something. I'm not saying that this is just right now. I think it's always been this way. You know what I'm saying? This isn't something I'm just saying like, oh, these youngsters, these kids don't want to play defense. I think it's been like this for a long time, where it was just offensive minded and the guys aren't really thinking.
Defense is always more fun for most people.
Right.
I mean,
that's why
defense
the
is more energy consuming. And
that's why the rules change.
But
fellas,
point,
I know we
go.
Not to Real Talk's point. No.
We got to get to these super chats, fellas. We are reaching the 3-hour mark. Mikey, I appreciate you for joining in. One more time, can you give and you don't got to leave right now. I just want one more time for you to drop your socials and let the people know where they can find you.
Yeah, for sure. On Instagram, I'm over at the Bucks House, and on TikTok, I'm at 2K Mikey. I do have a Twitter under the Bucks House as well, but I'm not, I'm more of a watcher on NBA Twitter.
Mikey, definitely when Giannis gets traded, I'm gonna have you back. I would like for you to come back up here once all the emotions settle, or if you want to come in here and let off any thoughts or feelings that you have. This is always a safe space to do that.
For sure. When we get Trey Murphy and we got our unit, I'll be glad to come back.
Y'all get Trey Murphy,
and they change just nothing.
We get the hooping again. Hey, we get Trey Murphy. It's Bucks and 6 again.
Oh yeah. I told him to come to Milwaukee and Las Vegas, and he laughed at me. So I don't know. I don't know how realistic that is. So.
All right, well, let's get into these super chats. The first one I got is from Masinko. Masinko said, I don't care who you think was the best, but in 2009, Wade, Kobe, and Bron were all relative. I turned 29 today. It's crazy to see how many great players have come and gone, and he's still great. He being LeBron. First off, happy birthday to the GOAT, Masinko. He is huge in our community. He's always active, always sending through super chats. We'll come on, playback, and all of that good stuff. Shout out Masinko. Happy birthday. But 29 years of LeBron is ridiculous.
Wasn't Chris Paul in that race too?
09 Chris Paul was one of the 5 best players to me.
Yeah, he was.
They were probably the top 3.
That was a good MVP race.
I think Bron is
Bron was the best player that year, but again, I feel like when there is kind of a definitive answer to a question about ranking players, that it feels disrespectful to the other ones. And I am in no way, obviously me, in no way saying that Kobe Bryant wasn't absolutely phenomenal in 08, because he absolutely was. It was just a player. It was a 6'9", 250-pound freak running around faster than everybody, jumping higher than everybody, and hitting jump shots and getting to the rim at an elite level, finishing at an all-time clip. It was an alien running around. That's fine. It doesn't diminish Kobe Bryant, and it doesn't diminish Dwayne Wade either. They're all-time
and it
great.
doesn't diminish LeBron either. For him to be second or third in the world.
I think it diminishes 09
before he so clearly reached his peak.
He was better.
I don't think that's so clearly before he reached his peak.
LeBron was so.
We don't have time for that conversation.
With that being said, he was extremely good, but LeBron was very flawed in 2009. However,
still roared.
Very flawed.
He can be as flawed as you want. When he impacts in the game the way he was, I don't really care that much.
But I mean that's. I don't want to say it's neither here nor there because it's a point that I'm making. But in 2019 and 2020, Giannis was flawed too, for a lot of the same reasons, and he was the MVP. So I'm not knocking LeBron. I'm just saying Some of those other guys were a lot more complete.
So you think, okay, that's a good comp. So
Giannis's flaws were a lot more drastic.
You think Giannis in 1920 is comparable to like 09 LeBron? And so you would say like the LeBron in 2020 would be the Kobe, and they're the actual better players because they're more polished. Like in 2020, did you think LeBron was better than Giannis? Because I did personally.
Nah,
I did.
You didn't.
Nah.
Defeat the purpose, I guess.
Yeah, I tried to meet you halfway, Ron, but I guess.
I mean, I get what you're saying and I get what you're doing, but it's still two different players though. It's still.
I would have liked to see Giannis fully healthy in that postseason. Not saying they would have beat Miami. I just wanted to see how he would have played.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, y'all. Teddy Hart said the second Giannis asked out, Sam Presti better get on the damn phone. I need to see a SGA and Giannis duo. I don't want to be blasphemous, but I see them being a lesser Kobe and Shaq archetype. Relax. I said lesser.
Ron, do you not know that I'm already talking to you. I'm just waiting for you to ask for the divorce. We already on the phone. We already been discussing this. Don't think for 1 second that I ain't been talking to you. Don't think that for 1 second that I haven't slid you a key already to the house. I'm just waiting for you to. I got the key already ready. We've already discussed this. So they just waiting for Giannis to ask. They just waiting for Giannis to ask out. These guys have been on the phone with they've been on the phone with Milwaukee about Giannis. Yeah, they just waiting for him to ask out.
This is why I don't like OKC losing recently, and everybody's like celebrating it. Oh, look, OKC's losing games. They're not as good as we thought. And forgetting that they have every asset in the world to go out and get any player they so choose. So I actually want them to start winning again so they don't end up trading for Giannis and then being the 2017 Warriors all over again because nobody wants to see that.
Mark, you wouldn't be mad if you got a bucket load of picks from OKC and a few young players. No, you'd be okay with
they definitely have the best options as far as picks go. Obviously, we're looking at that LAC first. And obviously, they're playing better as of late, but they've got some picks out there. The protections are kind of, like I'm looking at a trade proposal right now that has the 2026 Utah first, but I'm pretty sure that's top 8 protected or something like that. So it's like with it. Yeah, they have picks, but they're also
Mikey.
protected.
I'm not top 8 protecting nothing. I'm not trying to hear none of that. If I'm giving up Giannis, give it up.
Yeah,
give
I'm
it
keeping
up.
Giannis.
Run it. I'm not trying to hear that. I'm protecting my lottery pick, top 5. I don't want to hear none of that shit. Give it up. Hand him over. Hand it over.
What you be doing, Ron?
Yes, that's it right there. Hand it over. I don't want to hear.
No, that's ant celebration. What you doing? That's. What do you do?
Oh yeah, the love. He love that. He be doing
with the thumb. Yeah. DSG Piccolo. That's crazy. DSG Piccolo said Bam said Rudy can't guard him last game with only 12 points, just to drop 7 points this game. Bam is inept on offense. Man, just hand Rudy his defensive player of the year already. Wolves open to trade Rob Dillingham, laughing my ass off. Spurs fleeced him.
The Wolves really did trade a future pick for Rob Dillingham, and they're going to move him in year 2. That is just crazy decision making. But yeah, Rudy, Bam's offense,
has Bam's value ever been lower?
Well, I don't know. Like he does. Bam is who he is. This is the thing. Bam is who he is. It's just people keep expecting a Bam offensive leap, and it just never is coming. Bam is what he is. That's it. Bam is what he is. Bam got drafted in 2017.
He was an adjacent kid. He was an adjacent kid.
Bam been in the league for a decade. Bam is what he is. This is what he is offensively. Just live with it at this point.
I'm waiting for it. I'm trying to get her to lose weight, Ron, and it's just not happening. I just think she's gonna do it. Instead, I can't just accept her for just being a big girl. I just can't accept it.
She's just naturally big boned, and there ain't nothing wrong with it.
But I can't accept it. No, I'm trying. I'm getting on Weight Watchers. I know it's in there. I know that. I know it.
That's the thing. No, she not overweight. She just could lose a couple, but she still look good at her size, though.
I'm trying to make her into something that she's not. And that's what I'm doing with Bam.
She real nice and healthy.
I'm trying to make him into something that he's not, and I've been trying to do that for years. In reality, this is who Bam really is. He had 18 and he's an 18-8, 18-10 guy who can be a hub in your offense. He can pass the ball really well. But if you're trying to win the NBA championship, you have to do it in a different way. Because if you're trying to do it with getting buckets, Bam ain't your guy.
I feel like there's two new Bams in the league. It's two of them. Chet, Mobley, Bucket.
I knew that's where you was going. I knew that's where you was going.
Everybody keep waiting on Mobley and Chet to have this offensive pop. They're cool offensive players. That's it, though. I don't think it's
Chet's
really
only
giving
20.
I don't
giving
care
Chet
how
a
But I
much
will
Chet
say
is.
that offensive growth
And he had
is
a
very
major
hard
injury,
to attain. And when you're a young player and you're good right away, people tend to start just projecting the growth to just keep going. Going from like
Especially
a good offensive, especially a big, going from a good offensive big to like one of them ones, that's a hard leap to make. Like you just, it's not as simple as make more threes. Like it's a lot of things go into that. And maybe Chet and Mobley.
For Chet, it's going to be hard. For Chet, it's going to be hard because he's plays in such a guard heavy system as well. So, but he's still young and he missed a year with a major injury.
Bam is the worst of the three on offense, though. Just saying.
Oh yeah, he's the worst of the three. But I'm saying that like people keep waiting on this Chet leap, and I'm like, no, Chet's a cool offensive player right now, and I believe Chet's going to always be a very cool offensive player. But that's about it. It's going to be very cool.
I'm guilty of believing the offensive leap was coming. Hey, you see how Chet was moving in high school?
Yeah, but being a $125 at 7 foot in the NBA costs you more than in high school. Unfortunately,
I think he might be up to 150 now. I don't know if that's.
He might be 150.
I think he might be 150 now. Yeah.
I gotta run, y'all.
All right, fellas.
Dame,
All right,
good to see you, brother.
Merry Christmas.
The next super chat is from the Jonathan Frazier. Jonathan said, "This is the second game in a row. Bron's come in and at the start of the fourth." Has come in at the start of the fourth and won the game. Get Luka off the court. We don't need that chubby hubby bubby. We got the GOAT.
I don't have anything to say about that.
I will say this. Oh boy, I just add this to my Luka hater badge.
Yeah, I'm wearing it.
Here it comes.
Offense does tend to run a little more smoothly when Bron is at the helm of it. Just smooth. I'm not talking about effective now. I'm just saying it's a little more smooth when LeBron is challenging.
Yeah, the misses are more smooth. Yeah.
You know, Ron, it was less dishes and less laundry around here when you wasn't living here. That's what that shit sound like to me. That's exactly what that shit sound like. The house was a lot cleaner when you wasn't here.
People saying everything but LeBron the best player on the team.
That's what it sound like.
Saying going every which way to avoid saying Bron the best player on the team, but I guess
no, he's not the best player on the team. Luka's the best player on the team.
Yeah, just the offense run bad. He better on defense, but yeah, he no better than Luka. Yeah. 34.99.
Grandpa Town sent through a super chat and said, "Chill doing the LeBron prob would score." The LeBron prob would score, but puts the guy who scores the most this decade 7th on his scores list. Talking about Giannis, 30 plus a game, 1.02 points per minute. By the way,
so
points per minute used this much, but shout out to Giannis.
So I had him on the list, and he's by the way he's a what you call he's a Milwaukee guy. So
let's be fair, I would say Giannis at 7. I heard the names you said, and I don't like strongly disagree. Like I understand. But Giannis at 7 does feel low. Yeah,
it does. Of course, it does. And I had a hard time with it too. Because I'm like Curry. Yeah, I had a difficult time with it, but
also though, Jill, I will say LeBron being number 1 on that list doesn't in fact mean that we have to include him as a bucket getter because
yes, we do. Real talk. Yes, we do.
A lot of people.
No one really be including Kareem and Karl Malone.
Yeah,
and that's not, and that's wrong to do that. That's wrong to do that.
Best bucket getters ever.
And that's wrong.
Yeah, but to be fair, at least number 32 was a playoff dropper. Like you could be like, well, the buckets ain't really translate to the playoffs. Bron be getting buckets.
It goes up in the playoffs.
Yeah,
No,
Bron,
I
Bron scored the
consider
regular
Bron
season, the
one of the
playoffs, the
greatest scorers
finals.
ever.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's not because he's high on that list, which some LeBron fans have tried to do now. And all of a sudden, as soon as Bron got that record, LeBron fans at the Wazoo, best scorer ever. He has the most points.
Relax.
He has the most points. I'm like, brother, you didn't say that about Kareem, but I guess. Cool.
Brent Kayer sent through a super chat and said, you can see it pains Mars to have to talk positively about LeBron James, especially when he was one of the main ones saying he's washed now.
There's no pain because I don't have to speak positively about Bron if I don't want to. So why would I be in pain? I'm not obligated to talk positively about Bron.
Yeah, we could, but you definitely have to speak negatively about him. So, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's fun. I enjoy it.
Yeah, you enjoy being a hater of the greatest player to play your favorite sport.
I would never hate on Bill Russell. But
yeah, whatever, brother.
I wouldn't. Show me one time I hated on Bill Russell.
You still doing that gimmick. I don't even forget.
Yeah. You heard me just cape with Rudy Gobert, but you can't fathom I'd understand Bill Russell's value, I guess.
The Trib one said Smart, Quarter Vando, Luka, Bron, whoever, Reeves, Jake, and Filler, and it's Lakers in 5 if that happens. If we can get Herb Jones, it's the Lakers in 3 for real, for real.
Don't do it, real talk. Don't. Relax, real talk. As you were saying, Ron.
After last night, I don't even want Herb. I'm pushing all the chips in to get Trey Murphy.
Yeah, just get even less defense. Yeah, facts.
The next super chat is from Acro D2. Acro said, to all the people saying, quote unquote, oh, but he is still losing a lot. Through 23 years, 90% of y'all niggas can barely hold a regular job for 1 year. Come on, bro.
You know what? That's real interesting. I've been working somewhere for 23 straight years. That's a pretty big deal, yo.
Yeah, well, to be fair, he was in Cleveland for 6 years, and then he was in Miami for 4 years, and then he was in Cleveland.
I still had a job,
and then he's been in LA for 7 years.
I still had a job.
The employer is the Cleveland Cavaliers, and then it's the Miami Heat, and then it's the Cleveland Cavaliers, and then it's the Los Angeles Lakers. So actually, he's been employed by a bunch of different
gap in my employment. Like when you look at my resume,
are we employed by YouTube or by PC?
We're employed by YouTube via PC. Yeah, exactly.
NH Flex sent through a super chat. Appreciate you, NH. NH said, does everyone agree Giannis was clearly the better defender than Kawhi in 2019? Watching that series back, Gasol was better than Kawhi too.
Yeah, Giannis was a better defensive player than Kawhi in 2019.
I hope people don't forget that Giannis, like at his peak defensively, was like the guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he gets a lot of flack also for being like a help side defender, and I think that's hard for people to like come to grips with, I guess. But at his peak, like I think real talk, you were talking about 2020, with him versus LeBron. Giannis won DPOY that year too. You know, so like he was an MVP level player on offense, but he was also the best defender in the NBA.
I'm not.
Yeah, that was definitely his argument. That was definitely his argument in 2020. I just kind of feel like LeBron, especially come playoff time, was still viable enough defensively to where, yes, Giannis was a great offensive player, but there was still a gap between him and LeBron offensively. So I would lean towards LeBron, but I'm not mad at it if you say Giannis.
Giannis was like a top 10 defensive player in 2019. I don't think Kawhi was. I don't think Kawhi was really close to a top 10.
I think he finished second in DPOY that year, if I'm not mistaken, in 2019.
Who won it in 19? Was it Rudy again?
Yeah, it was Rudy again. He won it in 18 and 19. And he finished second to Rudy.
18 is crazy. That man played 56 games. So shout out to the 65 game rule, man.
Yep.
Reginald Deborah said, I'm donating because I fucking love the positive LeBron James, or my bad, the positive LeGoat discourse. Also, shout out to Penn Griffey Jr.
Absolutely. Thanks, brother. We appreciate you. No doubt.
Speaking of Bill Russell, Hoops Never Stop said, y'all give Bill Russell a pass for his defensive value. Why not, Rudy? His defensive value is probably one of the highest in the generation as well.
Because Bill
Defense
Russell was
isn't as
also
valuable
giving me
today,
and not only that, but I also was getting 30 games from Bill Russell. I was getting 25 games from Bill Russell.
Rudy in game 5 against the Lakers was 25 and 20 whatever.
Yeah, it was actually 28 and 24. That's what that was. No doubt.
Okay,
yeah.
So Bill Russell, there you go.
But I was getting a bunch of from Bill Russell though.
Yeah, and Bill Russell's better offensively than Hakeem. But real quick to Real Talk's point about like we know
nasty, I swear.
That's what I was told. Individual offense is more valuable than individual defense. Like we know Rudy Gobert, if he's the best defensive player in the league and Jokic is the best offensive player in the league, we know Jokic is a better player than Rudy Gobert, despite both of them lacking on the other side of the ball. But like, is the best defender, like what level of offensive player is the best defender better than? Like, is it the 15th best offensive player, the 10th best, the 20th, the 25th? Like, what's the bar? Like where the best defensive player is outvaluing the best offensive player?
My retort to that would be, how bad are they on defense?
No, like just ignore the other side of the ball. Like
we're just talking about offense. So Rudy,
for the best defender, offense doesn't exist. For all the offensive players, defense doesn't exist. What level of offensive player is the best defender more valuable than, better than, more impactful?
Line up. So for example, Wemby.
Yeah.
For example, real talk, Wemby.
If Wemby's offense didn't exist, where would he rank in the league?
Where is he amongst the best offensive players?
If he was trash on offense, Wemby would be
not negative. If offense didn't exist for Wemby, just defensive value alone, ignore offense. Wemby is a straight +0 on offense. Where would his defensive value alone place him amongst everyone else in the league strictly offensively? Is he better than the 15th best offensive player strictly off defensive value? That's kind of the question.
Probably so.
Is he better than the 10th best offensive player?
The 10 forward, I'll probably be like 9.
So probably like 11 through 15 range is where the best defensive value can probably get you alone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But again, but doing it like that, I get what you're trying to do. But for me personally, the context is, well, how much value are you bleeding on the other side to then come to the judgment of you as a complete player? So if you're an elite defensive player, but you bleed value offensively, then that does knock you off a tick. You know what I'm saying? But if I have this elite offensive player who's not bleeding value defensively, or even a slight plus, now we're talking about. I guess that's kind of why I'm high on people like Ant, Kobe, and like these type of players. Do like great to me, and at least these great offensive players who aren't bleeding any value defensively or adding to you as a defensive team. That's also why I think Cade deserves a lot of credit as well. We had that discussion before.
Reginald Deborah said also, LeGoat should play till he has his KG or Dirk or Kobe 3-point -10 points a game average, like the other legends. Shout out to Benjamin Franklin.
You think Bron gonna go out averaging 8?
No, that's not happening.
I'm not gonna lie. By the time Bron is like only good enough to average 8 points per game, he might be 50.
60.
Bron can only
he averaging 25 at 41.
Yeah, Bron can only score 8 points per game. Yeah, he might be in his 50s. I don't know.
I have a question about Chris Paul. We were talking earlier about guys like Kevin Garnett being like he shouldn't have ever put that Minnesota jersey back on. Do you think it's gotten to that point with Chris Paul where it's like yeah, it's tough. It's just tough. Yeah. Obviously, the stuff that happened with LA, in the falling out, hurts.
He should have.
But even before that,
no,
yeah,
he should have never went back.
It's easy to say that now, but he was good in San Antonio last year. This kind of, it kind of came out of left field how bad he was this year. Last year in San Antonio, he obviously fell off from where he was before, All-NBA, All-Star caliber player. But in San Antonio, he played all 82 games last year and was legitimately good for them. And then this year, he was unplayable. He was a bad player this year. once again, he's 40, so like the cliff can happen at any time. But it was like, I don't blame him for re-signing with the Clippers last year. It's like, I thought he could help the Clippers this year based on what I saw last year.
I did as well, yeah.
But then, the cliff came. So shout out to Cliff Paul.
Chris Paul, honestly, he should have called it quits before the Warriors, before he went to the Warriors. In terms of, I'm not saying that he could, because he was all right for the Warriors. He was good for the Spurs last year. Yeah. But in terms of his reputation, Chill, you've said it plenty of times. You could stick around long enough to where it hurts your legacy.
It happened.
He probably shouldn't have went to Golden State.
I hear that.
Man, Ron and Chill, y'all should know, man, they're going to play basketball as long as they can play basketball.
Absolutely.
Like,
I'm not mad at him.
But that's what they know. At this point, when you get to a Chris Paul, a LeBron James, they're 41. LeBron James has been playing basketball now for, let's keep it just 35 years. That's what he's been doing with his life.
Yeah.
It's hard to like move on from that. It really is.
I can get with that.
Hey, also real talk. Speaking of playing basketball for a long time, hey, Oz is back. Come All-Star Weekend, you better stay away from the rim when I'm coming through. Just clear the lane. All right, I am back. Dan Tech said, rank these 5 old heads: Bron, Steph, KD, Kawhi, and James Harden, based off this season only. Yo, Mikey, you want to give us this ranking from these 5 old heads?
Yeah, let me look at them. I might go Steph at my 1. Kawhi is tough because he's been playing good, like phenomenally lately. Like literally levels we've never seen him play before. LeBron has had his injuries, and obviously he's on his way back, but I don't think he's like redeemed himself to be maybe top 3. Do I put? I'm gonna stand on it. I'm gonna go Steph, KD, Kawhi, LeBron, and Harden.
I can get with that.
Next up, we got Hunter TV. What's wrong, Mars? Nothing? You sure? All right, just making sure.
Braun will be the top of that list by the end of the season.
By the way,
will he? He's gonna pass Steph?
Yes.
Maybe he's gonna pass Steph.
You know how many times I die Braun and he ends up doing some shit. So yeah,
exactly.
Sure, probably.
Exactly.
Hey, Mars, I'm gonna doubt him on this list just because I want to see him do it.
Yeah, he going. Yeah, sure.
Hunter TV said, get you someone who believes in you as much as Laker fans have belief in Luka actually winning the MVP. Shout out Lakers FC.
I think it's more Luka FC believe in Luka's MVP more than
I tweeted Luka is 3-4 good 3-point shooting weeks away from being the front runner for MVP.
And from you saying 24 Luka's back, right?
Maybe.
New information. Yeah, new information.
Yeah, new information, exactly.
Yeah.
Nick T said Nas Reed is dealing with losing his sister to gun violence.
Oh, wow.
He's not mentally there this season.
Didn't that happen last year? I think so. I think that
happened. I don't know. I can't tell you when it happened. But
I think
if it happened last year, he's still dealing with it. So prayers to you for that.
Pretty sure it happened over the summer, if I'm not mistaken. Big fan Breezy with the Brooklyn said, don't be surprised if the Nets beat Orlando. Tell that Bucks fan Nets not helping them. Nets should shouldn't trade Michael Porter Jr. unless we get a top 3 2026 pick. Hashtag MPJ All-Star.
He's on my All-Star team.
I wouldn't be mad at that.
I think MPJ been great this year.
Are you guys contenders if you get MPJ? Let's say for that Kuzma, Bobby Portis.
Yeah. Oh my God, Kuzma, Bobby Portis.
We're at least closer.
If you rob the Nets, you got a chance.
Yeah. I would say so. Maybe not like OKC, San Antonio like type of contender, but they're obviously at least close.
You think your shot in the East is better? You think your shot in the East is better if you got MPJ?
Yeah, anything can happen in the East. And like I said, we're a few games out, and you get MPJ added.
I just want to put it out there. Y'all dudes is wild as hell about this Brooklyn team. They are not handing over MPJ. They not.
What if we ask really nicely though?
You might get Cam Thomas.
Nah, hey, Mikey, that's a New York chick. You gotta ask aggressive. You gotta come aggressive, and they gonna like it. They gonna respect it.
Chill, you know who the Nets are. Chill, the Nets are that they that girl that's letting everybody hit. You know what I'm saying? They didn't everybody know in the group message. Hey, if you go to so and so house, right? You gonna watch a little Netflix. You rub on her thigh a little bit. She ready to go.
She with it.
She ready.
She
ready to go.
And everybody know which drink she like. If you bring over a bottle of this,
that's what the Nets are, Gio. Because at first it was Mikal Bridges went over there. Then everybody's like, man, you see Mikal averaging 25. Oh my god, hey, all-star him, right? Then it was Cam Johnson over there was balling out of control. He went over there and started putting up points. Oh my goodness, Cam Johnson is this amazing player. And now what? Michael Porter Jr. went over there doing the same thing. He doing the same thing. Hey, if you want to get your PPG up, go to the Nets. If you want to go score, throw up the ball to the rim, go to the Nets.
And Mikey, you actually ain't got to ask her nicely.
They might just give it to her.
All you gotta do is just show up. That's it.
Yep. That's kind of how I feel with Trey Murphy. Like, we have no business getting Trey Murphy, but Joe Dumars is running stuff over there. So who knows with him running the ship?
Yeah.
Ray Lass said, "Was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar ever as great as Rudy on defense?" Chilltown?
Yeah. Yes, he was. Mm-hmm.
Mars.
Look at Mars being nasty.
Mars, do you have something?
I'm nasty. I'm nasty for covering my face.
Yeah, because we know what that means.
Mars,
okay, now
is there something you would like to say to the people? The super chatter? Anything?
Man, we 26 minutes over time, Ron. Come on.
For real, we are.
Right.
Ron.
MTHJ 301 said Giannis and Torian Prince for Caruso, Isaiah
Hell
Joe.
no. Don't even read that, Ron. Hell no. No.
OKC say no.
No.
Damn.
Hell no.
No. Okay.
No.
Mikey?
You at least have to add the Thanasis in here.
I think the Thanasis is going. I think the Thanasis is going to be in the trade. Yeah, I think he's like mandatory.
That's part of it. The Thanasis is like the Thanasis is like a woman with a kid. Like this part of it.
It's a package. I'm gonna be honest. If a team is really slick, they overpay to trade for Thanasis right now, so Giannis joins them in free agency. That's what a real team would do, but they're not locked in for it. And that's what I would do. I'll offer up like a legitimate lottery pick. Get Thanasis because I know that means Giannis gonna join my team in the future.
Mars, you don't think they'll sniff you out? Like we know what you're up to, you son of a you know what? We know what you're doing.
I'm just making trades. I don't know what to say. I'm just making trades.
We know why you doing that. We know Thanasis ain't worth the 8th pick in the draft. Hell no.
Well, says you. Yeah, I think he is. And I'm gonna have to start him for the next season just to prove it. Like, hey, look, 12 points per game. Yeah, come on.
Chill, them be the worst ones, Chill. You gotta love me and my baby. I don't know that nigga, respectfully.
Hey, real talk. I got fruit snacks for him.
I don't know him, but I don't know that is the daddy around.
I got fruit snacks and Happy Meals for him.
For real? Okay, well, you do that then. I ain't ready to play stepdaddy. Not yet.
I ain't playing stepdaddy. I just got something to occupy him for about 30 minutes. Artur Vieira sent through a super chat and said Giannis was MVP and Defensive Player of the Year in 19 and 20. One of 3 players to do it. Jordan and Hakeem.
And only one of them.
Well, yeah, but he won MVP in large part because of his defense.
Yeah.
So it's not like people seem to use that as like, oh, he was the best offensive and defensive player in the world. When that's not what it is. It's actually Giannis's defense was a large part of his MVP case. Same thing with Hakeem when he did it in 94, I think.
Yes.
So yeah, it's not like, oh, he was the offensive player of the year and the defensive player of the year. Only 3 players have done that. It was he was so good defensively alongside everything he did offensively and team record wise that he won both awards. So people seem to use that.
The only one that actually goes for would be Michael Jordan, because Michael Jordan
even though he wasn't the best defender in the league.
Yeah, he wasn't the best defense player, but he was actually the best offense player in the league.
Yeah, respect the other MJ.
Cool.
You know, your team offense, playmaking.
Yeah. Michael Jordan. Yeah.
The other MJ.
All right, we got a few more members chats, then we're gonna get up out of here. I appreciate everybody for locking in. Appreciate everybody for sticking around. I appreciate everybody that's liked the videos, and salute to all of our Hall of Famers. You know who you are. Hall of Fame Friday is just a couple days away. If you want to come on stage, hit me on the side, and we would love for you guys to come on the panel. Box score watching, my favorite thing to do. Sent through a members chat and said, we must talk about Bam, his last games offensively.
We talked about it. We did.
I miss who he is, man. Shout out to Bam.
Yep.
Jordan Reed said the Wolves gave the Heat BTA. WTF happened?
Yes, they did.
Heat offense is fake. That's what happens.
I told you that early this year.
I seen the shit in Memphis. Knew that shit was fake, but it's cool.
MTHJ301 said, rank these players, or rank these Trae Young destinations: Brooklyn, Miami, Minnesota, Boston. Any thoughts on Dior Johnson? Let's rank these destinations first. Brooklyn, Miami, Minnesota,
it all
Boston.
depends on the price, but for Trae, Miami makes no sense. They don't run pick and roll.
Zero.
Why would he go to Miami? That makes no sense.
And they play defense there too.
Minnesota and Boston. Was it Boston?
Yes.
I guess Boston would be number one, I guess.
You know, they play defense there too.
Yeah, but they employ Anthony Simons.
He's a situational player.
Brooklyn's probably the best place for him. Brooklyn, then Minnesota, then Boston, then Miami. Maybe.
Man.
I got every destination but Brooklyn being a good spot.
Yeah.
Okay, buddy.
It's
I have
tough,
a
man.
Johnson, so can't tell you.
Bino Bapelli said, facts, Damian. First Take is one of the biggest reasons basketball discourse was trash.
I was watching some old First Take the other day.
That's why we here.
Quite entertaining.
Shout out Skip and Steven.
Yeah,
I don't know. I wouldn't blame them for that, though. Like that, all they did was take what is done off of cameras and put it on television. You would be surprised.
They appealed to what people wanted. Like, people gonna act like they're so much better than First Take, but at the end of the day, there's a reason it did numbers. Like, people are interested in that type of stuff. Now, me personally, I'm not the most interested in that type of stuff. I think I made that quite clear. But like, even from time to time, like, I'll dabble like on old First Take stuff. Current First Take, but like old First Take, I'll go back and listen and see what was going on. I think it can be entertaining in small doses. But people enjoy that type of stuff. Not everyone want to act like they were too big for First Take. But the reality is that they got numbers from somewhere. Like,
y'all are in a bubble now. You in a bubble, and this is what I realized too. You get in a bubble with people that are like-minded, so then you forget what the majority of people actually think. Go out into these places and just sit. Sometimes I'll go out and people are like talking basketball and stuff, and I won't interject, even though I want to talk about. I'll just sit back and I just want to listen to what like regular people say about basketball, and it's the same talking points. It's LeBron versus Jordan. It's LeBron ain't no killer. I'm telling y'all that like all that stuff is still said today. It's the same thing.
And NBA Twitter isn't real life. That's one thing you want to learn.
NBA Twitter's not
like the idea. Like, once again, I'm not coming at you. But like the Kobe's not top 10 stuff, I promise that's only an internet take. Like, I promise, Kobe top 5. Like in the outside world, Kobe top 5. Like, is the social media world and the real world.
Did I start that?
Two completely different worlds.
Yes, you did, Chill.
No,
I think the Nick Wrights of the world. Like, you guys have definitely contributed to like social media diminishing Kobe in some regards, but it's still a very unpopular opinion in the global sense of things. Kobe's more seen still top 3 than not top 10. Like, by a
absolutely.
Because make sure that I didn't start that.
He's in my top 3.
I just want to make sure.
Well, people will blame you. No, I'll blame you. Yeah, it's your fault. Yeah. I'll chill.
We got another member by the name of No Name Bruh. Shout out No Name Bruh. Be True 23 said, I would love Darren Peterson on the Pacers or the Hawks. Did we see Darren Peterson last night?
I bet they would too.
He needs to go to. I think the Wizards need Darren Peterson. He would like save them.
That boy can hoop.
Yeah,
he can, but I think AJ DeMons is like actually running away now to be the number 1 pick, at least in my opinion. It's getting hard to justify not selecting him with the number 1 overall pick.
Interesting.
And last but not least,
another casual like 28 and 12 yesterday. Shout out to Cam.
No, Cam can hoop, but AJ, I just think you look at AJ, he has the higher upside, and then what he's doing already in college. I'm sorry, he's number 1. I'm sorry.
Also, too, I just gotta say it's gonna be unpopular for most people, but Caleb Wilson should be getting consideration at the number 1 pick. Even if you don't take them,
they're in the conversation stuff. Yeah,
beyond the in the conversation. He's the best defender out of all those guys. He's the most athletic, and I think his tools translate the easiest. All them other guys have to be number 1 options. They got to be bucket getters. Caleb Wilson can do that.
The number 1 pick, Ron. I'm not drafting Ricochet again.
No doubt. I'm saying it's going to be harder for them to translate. It's going to be harder for. It's easier for Caleb Wilson to be a Kevin Garnett than it's going to be for AJ DeBanza to be. It's easier for Caleb Wilson to be Kevin Garnett than it's going to be for AJ to be Tracy McGrady.
No, it is not, Ron. What are you doing?
Have you guys seen him play?
You said that when we had no time to elaborate.
Zero. We got no. What's going on right now?
Have you seen him play?
I've watched my fair share of Caleb Wilson film, and I don't know how you can come to that conclusion.
So look, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this because I'm not saying he's gonna be Kevin Garnett. All I said is he deserves some consideration. No. When they play Duke, if he serves Cam Boozer, I don't want to hear anything.
Okay, you got it.
When he locks Cam Boozer up and goes off on the other end, and he scores 24 and 14, I don't want to hear nothing.
You got it, Ron.
Anyway, shout out to Cambuza, just another comeback win against Louisville. 27 on 12 shots. Just Cambuza doing Cambuza.
Congrats to him.
Yeah, but his game isn't aesthetically pleasing, so it's actually just not the number 1 pick.
Who said it's not aesthetically pleasing?
Just dominating his competition at every.
I got to bounce.
All right,
later, fellas.
All right, y'all. Last but not least, Free Night said, "Chill. It's like having the same meal every day at home."
Well, I don't know what he's referring to.
You guys don't do that?
I have no idea what he's referring to.
I'm about to go eat the same meal. I meal prepped for the whole month.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mars, I meal prepped with Factor Meals. Hello. Player's Choice 50 off. But y'all, we got to get up out of here. It was a pleasure, my man Mikey. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me on and giving me this platform. It was a fun time.
All right, fellas, we will be back tomorrow, same time, same place. Y'all tap in. Y'all know where to find us. Join the NFL Player Survivor, and we will see you guys on the flip side. Shout out to Caleb Garnett.